What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, April 27th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Big Wednesday card ahead of us. We have Mr. Gogster for NHL. We have the Big Ragoo for MLB. And we have Darryl Rice for NBA. The 2-week glorious winning streak came to a halt last night. Just heartbreaking situations. The Flames goal with 0.1 seconds left was a huge swing for me in a bad way. The 2-out double that Mike Trout hit in the bottom of the fifth pushed my first 5 under 4, which stopped me from having a winning day. And then I lost on the Grizzlies first quarter. Shout out to Rez Mob, who was so confident in the Suns trifecta. That was a thing of absolute beauty. It's upsetting that the NHL streak that was so glorious came to an end last night. Very upsetting. 3 wins and 6 losses, down 2.65 units. The Red Wings look was very wrong. Red Wings +2 at +104 was a loser. Blues +145 a loser. Canucks -1.5 at +115 was a casher. The night would have been better if I had stuck with the Canucks team total over 3.5, but that moved from -120 to -130, and I still should have done it. I mean, they scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. Sharks -1 was a mistake. It was a mistake that Pistol Pete Loshak thought that I was making, and I was making it. Rangers -1. I was shocked that they didn't come to play. Florida Boston under 6.5 at +110 was a casher. Edmonton Pittsburgh under 6.5 at +110 was a casher. The Detroit team total over 2.5, which I picked over the Detroit first period +0.5, which would have cashed just because it was +135 compared to +105. Too bad that decision was made. Was a loser. And then Nashville +120, a Mortal Kombat finishing move, ripped my heart out my asshole and threw it on the ground and then danced on it. So that was the day that was, and the winning streak stopped. But let's not talk about the day that was. Let's talk about the day that is. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Big show here ahead of us today that I'm very excited about. I'm excited about everything that's happening here, all the capping that we're doing together. Also, we are, 10 days away from the run for the Roses. Mark Schillingberg in the house since my one-day break. A 4-1 last night in NBA. Nice job. Mark Schillingberg is on Liverpool Villarreal parlay. Liverpool money line over 8.5 corners, under 3.5 goals at +190. There's Fap win. Hopefully he will be joining us for our big horse racing days. We're going to be live all day Friday and all day Saturday. Love to hear that Fap win. Houston team total over 4.5 with Vancouver money line. Beautiful work. There's Sammy Culmer ready to get to work. And we have a look from Fap. Australian racing today. Paycam Race 6. The 4 Maui at 6-1. He's going win place. Thank you for sharing that with us. Fap gives out a ton of winners. And we love him. So let's pop that here so I can go over that. There's Spenny Penny Bombs ready to go. Razor Sharp picks. Another 1-0 day yesterday. 5 straight winning days, 7 straight $300 winners. I love that. $300 plays locked and loaded for today's NBA game for our Razor Sharp picks. Beautiful. Jedi for Life 3-1 day in MLB last night. I love it. Let's go. A nuke worker in the house. And there's TJ. TJ opened up his account in MLB. He stayed off for the first couple weeks trying just to gather information, see how everything was banging out. Then 3-0 day to get it started. Shout out to our guy TJ. Killing it. I love that. Mr. Fape in the house. Alex Hills Birdie congratulating TJ on getting his season started beautifully. I love it. Real Deal Prime ready to go. DX Filer. There's Matty Ice started taint play today. Chief Series Business. Nasty Nate. Cornhole champion. Nasty Nate. Slatsy says Canucks saved me last night for a break-even night. What a call by Birdie on the Islanders. That was a thing of beauty. That was an absolute thing of beauty. What a swing that +120 was, though. 0.1 seconds left. Of course, it's Matthew Tkachuk not wearing a Canucks jersey because Benning's a fucking clown. Ugh. Awful. All right. Nutflush Allen ready to go. By the way, Nutflush Allen, Coyotes in regulation. At what? Just under 12-1? What a monster he is. Okay, we got to get to work. There's D. Jenkins ready to eat. And the taint play of the day is in. What the hell is it? Sorry, give me a second here. Taint. There's taint. I know he uses capitals. There it is. Red Sox team total over 3.5 at -125. I love that look. I don't trust Stripling at all. I love that look. I've made 5 bets in MLB. That's not one of them. I found yesterday's card very, very difficult. But if I had just stuck with sort of gut feels, it would have been a nice day. But I did not. It was still 1-1. Not the end of the world. Down 0.05 units on the day. Team total over 3.5 is in. Bailey ready to eat. Birdie says, I guess we should have done Coyotes -1.5 for a half and moved on. There were these huge dogs keep cashing, and I just picked the wrong one with the Red Wings, which pissed me off. There's Bruce Hayward ready to get to work. North Ender 3-1-1 plus 2.4 units on NHL chat plays yesterday. Nice job. LJ from H-Town sweeping the board in NBA. I can't wait to get you on the show, LJ. Let's talk again today. I know that we've been working on your setup, so let's talk again today and see if we can get everything rolling. All right. It is time to fire away. We have a great, great group. Nice to see all you guys ready to get to work here. I wish I could say what up to all of you, because you all deserve it. Rant's in the house. Rant, Cheshire Cat, Dan Kelly, Good Nasty Nate, Jay Peasy, Ronnie and Bergia, Sammy Comer, Spud, Michael Irvalina, Richie Rich, Dommy Gun Richie. What a group. Spenny Penny Bombs, Astute Chaos coming off another beautiful night. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. You should follow him on Twitter. He's just gives out winners. That's what he does. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle here in the chat. Please follow our guy, Astute Chaos. Let's get this in here. All right, there's Stack Guap. All right, it's time to get to work. It is time to get to work. Let's bring on your first guest of the evening. Jesus, I'm still a comic. Jesus. Of the morning. Pride of Belleville, Ontario. Please welcome Mr. Gogster to the show. Gogster, what's happening, my man?
What's going on? Yeah, no, the sun's out today, Jim. It stays out even later. Yeah, 8 o'clock she goes down. But anyways, yeah, no, great to be here. Coming off a 4-2 night from last week there, guys, on Thursday. So we're starting to see the card a little bit better. But coming to the end of the year here, Jim, you saw what happened. Like the fact Nutflesh, he should get the capping award of the year for taking Arizona in regulation. I just want to give you a round of applause there, brother, and shout out to that flag he gave me there, that towel. But yeah, unbelievable call. It's a really tough time for me in NHL, even though coming off that nice 4-2 night. Some teams are on back-to-backs, Jim. I got a couple additions. I just tweeted out one of them, and I just added another one to the card. So let's cap this NHL card, guys.
All right, let's get after it right now. Let me get this here, see what you have put out already, and see what we are talking here. So, Mr. Gogster, you have a little 2-team money line parlay and an addition as well. Okay, so you've got 3 looks so far.
I got 2, and I haven't tweeted the other one here. Yeah, it's gonna be addition on the show.
All right, let's get right to work. There's Dabby Cab in the house. Matty Ice says, "Isn't the Blackhawks plus 170 a must bet today?" No, I'm taking Vegas. They have 1 game left in their season. I mean, they're not out of it. And there's no reason for me to really trust the Stars. So, no. The other spots, I think, must bets. I'm on the over in that game, though.
I like that.
Blackhawks, Vegas, over 6 at -105. I'm not sure what it is right now. Yeah. But, no, I think Vegas is all guns a-blazing here. And the Blackhawks are a terrible hockey team. But we will get into all of that. Birdie is taking the Blackhawks. Birdie's great capper. He's also on the Coyotes. If the Coyotes are playing Dallas tough and Vegas sees that, I don't think those 2 bets correlate just because
I think Arizona has no shot tonight.
We'll talk about all of that stuff. Let's get right to work. We start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Flyers 25-44 and 11, 11-24 and 5 on the road at Winnipeg Jets, 36-32 and 11, 20-15 and 3 at home. Canada Life Center, Winnipeg, Manitoba. Martin Jones going up against Connor Hellebuck. Jones has been quite a bit better of late.
Hold on, Jim. Hold on. Comrie's in.
Oh, good. I like that. Martin Jones been quite a bit better of late in his last 2 games, but he's had a bad season. He's a bad goaltender, and he's lucky that Doug Wilson gave him and his family all of this money, because nobody in their right mind would have Philadelphia power play 12.1%, 76.1% penalty killing. Winnipeg 21.1%, 74.7% penalty killing. Flyers coming off a 3-1 loss at Chicago on Monday to snap their modest 2-game winning streak. Philadelphia 4-18-2 in their past 24 road games. And look, I'd like to bet Winnipeg, but something was just holding me back. I'd like to fade Philadelphia. I mean, Winnipeg is just minus 185 favorites. You would think that they would be bigger favorites. Jets team, I guess they're just 20-15-3 at home, but historically so good at Canada Life Center. Konechny is on a 6-game point streak. He's still trying. Martin Jones has stopped 68 of his last 72 shots in his past 2 starts, so he's been much better. Jets snapped their 4-game losing streak with a 4-1 win at home over the Avalanche on Sunday. They're just 3-6-1 over the last 10. Kyle Connor, 45 goals, 89 points has been good. Take it away here, Mr. Gogster, Flyers, Jets.
Well, with the Flyers there, Jimmy, defensively, they've got big problems. They've allowed, let's just go over this quickly, guys. They've allowed 3-1, 3-5-5, 4-4, 9-5 in their last, 10 games. So defensively, they're not solid at all. Just looking at it, Jim Provorov, Attard, Hogberg, Sanheim, Keith Yandel, and then Zamula. I haven't watched many Flyers games, as you can see, but they don't have many household names on their back end. So defensively, I don't like them at all here, Jim. Comrie going, he's had 5 of his last games, Jim, have all been on the road. And listen to who he's had to play, Comrie, on the road, too. He's had to play Carolina, lost, the Rangers, Tampa Bay, Florida, and Toronto. All teams that are in the playoffs. He's lost all those games. He's had a really tough go his last 5 games, but Comrie is 4-1 with a .911 save percentage at home. So he's been a much better goalie at home, Jim, where he's beat Columbus, he's beat Seattle, beat Chicago, and beat Dallas, lost to the Islanders. This is a Philadelphia team. I think Winnipeg should get it done. I was going to lay the regulation line, but I decided to throw in a little money line parlay with another team coming up later on. The one thing you want to, Owen Tippett, that's the one guy there. They got some young guys on their offense that they could do something where I don't mind the over, even though Comrie has won those games, guys. He's allowed, 3 goals to Columbus, 3 goals to Seattle. So when they do win with Comrie, it usually goes over. So I would correlate an over to this with a Winnipeg win. But yeah, you said it too. Whenever Winnipeg plays at home, a little bit of pride here. They're pretty much a healthy team too. Looking at the injuries too, Jim, Philly's without Ristolainen, and with him being out now long term, that's a big loss there for Philly too. And just Scheifele's out for Winnipeg, so I'm gonna
just their captain and best player.
Yeah, well, it is their captain best player, but you're playing a team in Philadelphia that doesn't scream danger by any means to me. So I still think they got enough. Like looking at their top line, Ehlers, Ehlers, I'm a little brain for you. Connors, Dubois, Stastny, Wheeler, Lowry. They're still deep enough, I think, to take down this Philadelphia team. And Martin Jones, he doesn't scare me. He's been pretty. I know you said he had a couple of good starts recently, but I can't endorse Philadelphia here.
No, and they should never be endorsed. But it's just quite strange that Winnipeg would be at minus 185 here. And I know we don't care much about where the cash lies in NHL, but you have 91% of the tickets. There's only 2,547 tickets in, so we don't know, but 91% of the tickets, and yet it's not moving. And they're coming off a game that meant a ton to them.
Colorado win.
Colorado. It's just, look, I get it. I completely get it. And I stared at it for a long time, but just something just didn't feel right to me.
Even maybe both teams to score first period. I don't hate for some plus money. I really like going after that plus money. I think we see some goals here. I do. Defensively, Jim, Philadelphia, they've allowed 1 goal in their last 10 games. Other than that, it's been 3-4-5, 9-5-5. And you're going up against Winnipeg at home. Yeah, they're coming off that 3-1 win, but I'm trusting the Jets here, guys. Money line parlay style.
All right. Well, let's keep moving on. I'm not going to. I just
let's get it there, officer.
I wonder what it's very, very. They're just begging for Jets money, and they're going to get a ton of it today. It's just going to be all Jets money all day, and and it doesn't seem to concern Bet365 at all. It's just strange. But I guess a team total over for the Flyers.
Really quickly, Jim, what do you think of that Comrie look, though? He said his last 5 starts have been on the road against Carolina, the Rangers, Tampa Bay, Florida, and Toronto. Now he gets to come at home against Philadelphia.
I can understand you betting on the much better hockey team. So I guess that's the only thing I can say positive about the bet. You're betting on the better hockey team, and that's a good place to be.
Special teams too. You got a 7% power play going up against a 22% power play. Now those numbers are since March 1st, home and road split. So on the road, Philly's got a 7%. At home, like we've been saying, Winnipeg's got a 22% power play. So special teams right away. I love Winnipeg as well.
Flyers have better penalty killing than the Jets.
Depending on, like, for my stats here, Jim, I'm doing the March 1st home road splits on the road since March 1st, 71% for Philly, 76% for Winnipeg. I think both of them are susceptible to give up goals, but you could say I'm betting on the better hockey team here. And
yeah, no, I get it. It makes sense to me to bet on, I get it. Something just doesn't feel right late in the year.
Yeah.
But I get it. So this is part of your money line parlay. Let's keep rolling along here, Gogster. Next up, we have Montreal Canadiens, 20-49-11, 10-23-7 on the road. It's New York Rangers, 51-23-6, 26-9-4 at home. Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. I don't know how we don't have some bet. Oh, wow. Jesus.
What?
It's moved a full $1. Well, that's why. Wow.
Minus 250.
Holy shit. Jesus, plus 275 to plus 175. Wow. Okay.
What's going on with the Rangers?
There's no point. There's nothing for them. There's the same with the Kings. There's no reason for them to do anything out here tonight.
Montreal first period.
Yeah, but I should have done that. Wow.
Yeah. I was thinking that last night, Jim. I was looking at the card. That was one of the plays I was thinking about last night, and there you go. It moved that much.
Holy shit. We do not see that very often. Plus 275 to plus 175. Now, what held me off is that we know that Montembeault, we expect Montembeault to be in that because Carey Price has a meeting with his knee surgeon.
He's got problems. He's got big problems, Carey.
Panarin is out. Yeah, Panarin got hurt in the game, but not bad. Like, he was capable to go. And so did Kopp. Both Kopp and Panarin are going to be out.
Yeah.
Wow. That's holy shit. Wow. Okay. Montembeault 7-18-6, 3.79 goals against average, 892 save percentage. Georgiev 14-9-2, 2.91 goals against average, 898 save percentage. It's important for Georgiev to step up.
For job, really.
Yeah. He for him to play well here. But other than that, no, Matty, we can't. The shot had to be taken at plus 275 in my estimation. You can't. You have to just say, I missed this opportunity, I believe. Rangers power play 25.8%. There's Ron Crawford in the house. Penalty killing 82.2%. Canadiens coming off their 9th straight loss. 5-3 at home over to the Bruins. Mm-hmm. Canadiens 49 losses. That's 9 more than they've ever had in the history of their franchise. Unbelievable. Rangers on the second half back-to-back after losing their second straight game 4-3 at home versus the Hurricanes. Thank you guys for keeping me off of the Rangers division when I tried to move on it when it was at plus 410. You guys were right about their 5-on-5, and we just watched them play a team that's very good 5-on-5, and they got handled twice in their own barn. And now they'll just wait and see if they face the Capitals or the Penguins in the first round. So
how about them Rangers, Jim? How about them Hurricanes?
Yeah, at this point, honestly, I'm not sure how good the Hurricanes are.
Either am I, to be honest. I made this bet in November, so.
Or the Rangers, for that matter. Ron Crawford spreadsheet plays are in. He's with you, but he's on the Jets -1. But he's right there with you. For the life of me, I don't know how good the Rangers are. I've talked about having great goaltending and power play. Means you're so dangerous, but you guys were right.
They're not offensively. Sorry, go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
But you guys just are right about the 5-on-5, how important it is.
Exactly.
So Richie Rich, New York Rangers back-to-back, but at home Rangers team total over 3.5. Take it away here, Gogster. Can't wait to hear you break down Canadiens Rangers.
The thing with the Rangers, like, they're a team like Florida, though, when they're down, they can come back at any point in time, especially at home. I've seen it all year. It's just they're kind of they played late, not lazy, but man, they're not they don't come at you something. Like it's almost like they rely on Shesterkin too much. Now I'm thinking about it. It's like, we got Shesterkin, so they kind of, they don't go at teams like say some of these other teams do. The Rangers are a weird team. With that being said, Josh Ericat said Georgiev has been playing much better, and he definitely has, Jim. He's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. 7 of his last 8. Only loss was against, surprisingly, New Jersey, but I think he got pulled there 5 of 7 shots. So Georgiev has been money in the bank. With that being said, though, you know what? Maybe a no goal in the first 10 minutes here. What the hell do the Rangers have to play? And you know how solid they are defensively. The question would be Montembeault. He's 3-10 on the road this year. He's lost against Ottawa, lost against Columbus, Toronto, actually beat the Devils. So I would lean towards no goal in the first 10 minutes here, to be honest, Jimmy. It's not one I love here. Even, we missed some of the action on the Montreal first period from that huge plus 275 to plus 175 dip. So I don't want to fade Georgiev, really. I don't. I could see what the Rangers have to play for, but Montreal. I lean to the under here. What is it, 6? I would lean to unders here, Jim. I really would.
I hear you, but I do also think it takes motivation to defend.
They're naturally, these guys. I hear you. These guys are one of the top. I'd say they're top 3 defensive team in the league. So,
but you have to have motivation to back check. Ronnie's saying Rangers have a side here. Obviously,
I don't think there's going to be much forechecking going on from the Rangers. I think it's going to be, I don't think they're going to be going guns a-blazing. And Montreal, like I get the value there, but it's not like they're a team that's. It's tough.
I wasn't sure I wanted them at plus 275 with Montembeault and go up plus 275. So I'm not going to take them at plus 175.
Exactly.
But yeah, Derek Sutton's right. There will be no Cop. There'll be no Panarin.
Hedl, Kako, Cop.
So yeah, I'm off of this. But do you want to move? Did you want to make a move on the under?
I'm not, guys. But that's the total would be my strongest fee on this, like a no goal first 10, full game under 6 kind of thing.
Panarin was in against the Hurricanes. He got hurt during the game, but he said he was good to go, ready to go back in. And it was Gerard Gallant who was just – I was surprised that Gallant was playing it so passively. It was Gerard Gallant that kept him and Kopp on the bench. I believe they got hurt at some point in the first half of the game and just stayed on the
It's
bench.
not good. And Jim, the Carolinas had the Rangers number too. 4-2, they beat them. And then again, 4-3, and then 4-2 about a week and a half ago. So Carolina's had this team's number recently. With that backup goalie, too, that you see that backup goalie, they got the Russian Pyrai. I can't even pronounce his name, but look out for this guy, Jim. I watched some highlights. I don't want to say he's like a Shesterkin, but he seems like that could be the goalie of the future for Carolina right there.
The Russian goalies are the best goalies in the world right now. I'm off this spot. Did you want to move on the under?
No, I'm going to pass.
All right, we are going to MLB in 10 minutes here, hopefully 10 minutes. And we have the Big Ragoo here. So I'm looking forward to hammer that. But let's move on. So now I can understand Birdie's thoughts, fading the Knights and Stars today. A very emotional game last night. He said you could see the defeat in Vegas last night. That was a devastating loss. Stars celebrated like they won the cup. Well, it's possible. It's possible. But I don't think they go back-to-back with Logan Thompson. If they do, I think he'll play well. But I'm expecting to get a chance to see Yuri Patera and them kind of let go. If Kevin Lankinen's in, it doesn't matter who's in for the Blackhawks. They're terrible goaltending. Lankinen 7-15-6, 3.53 goals against average, 890 save percentage. I destroyed this total. And I only bet it 4 hours? I bet this at, 7:30 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I got the over 6.5 in this game at minus 105. Oh, sorry, over 6 at minus 105.
Yeah.
6 at 105. It's now 6.5 at minus 125. I mean, that's just nuts.
Beautiful.
It's nuts. Vegas comes in off their second straight shootout loss, 3-2 at Dallas last night. They went 0 for 10 in these two important shootouts. When San Jose came back on them, you know they were done.
Yeah.
They now trail the Stars by 4 points. 2 games remain for both teams. Vegas does hold the tiebreaker It's going to be nice. Like, it's
Sorry,
good.
say that again. Sorry, say that again, Jim. What's the tiebreaker there? Sorry.
Vegas has the tiebreaker comfortably over Dallas.
Okay, so Dallas needs to win this because they both have.
No, Dallas just needs a point.
Okay, they just get 2 games. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Sorry, yes.
And they have a pretty easy situation. They have Arizona tonight and then Anaheim on Friday.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Oh no, it's all good, buddy. All good. So at this point, the Blackhawks are just atrocious. Now, Derek King, who I liked when he played in the league, he had a big talk with them about how these games mean something, and I don't know if the veterans on the squad could care less. It's guys like Kubalik and some of these guys who've really done nothing this year, like even Johnny Taves, Captain Series, done nothing this year. But the Blackhawks snapped their 2-game losing streak with 3-1 win at home over the Flyers, and that's their first regulation win since March 23rd. It's April 27th.
Holy problems.
Patrick Kane tied his career high with his 66 assists. That's impressive. DeBrincat's had a good year. But I think that Vegas beats them. And this is the last game where they have something to play for and a reason to fight. And I just think they take out their anger against this shit hockey team. And I think there's goals scored. So I moved on Vegas -1.5. I forget what I got. I got Vegas -1.5 at plus 125.
Let's go.
It's at 120 right now, but I think Eichel, and I just think that they run over this shit hockey team. So that's my breakdown. Take it away, Gogster, Vegas, Chicago.
Yeah, this is the one I want to add. It's man, you got me thinking a bit. Just Vegas, they could win this game, Jim, 4-0. They could just shut Chicago right down. The one question would be Thompson. Now he has played a lot in Henderson. This guy, Jim, you could tell this guy was eventually going to play for this team. Workload was insane. Henderson was giving him, so he's used to heavy workload. I can tell you that right now. Now it's NHL level. This Patera guy, he's 9-11. You got a guy 9-11 they're about to call up. He's their backup, so they got an awful backup they're calling up from Henderson. It's the back-to-back. The one play I wanted to give out here, and I'm thinking twice about it, guys, is both teams to score, Jim, in the first period. What do you think of that?
Well, Birdie thinks I've got it wrong here. He thinks if Vegas shows up and they want to win, why would they open it up? They open it up just because they can take advantage of this terrible Blackhawks defense and terrible Blackhawks goaltending. And I don't even know if they need to open it up to score comfortably against this team. And the reason why I think that even if Vegas comfortably wins the puck line, this game will go over is because is Logan Thompson going to play? He's going to play back-to-back. I mean, that's tough on this kid. Or if it's Yuri Patera. I mean, Yuri Patera was in the ECHL for half of the year.
You don't want him. If he goes, that's where this is where I came up with the first both teams to score in the first period was if Patera does go, I think Chicago can score on him. If Thompson goes, like, I don't know, man, because their defense is pretty damn. Like looking at their injuries for Vegas, it's Patrick, Howden, Haig, but they got their main core still in now for Vegas. So defensively, I don't mind them against the shittier teams, especially in Chicago. I would. Fuck, man. I personally, I think you're right with that puck line. I think Vegas is gonna beat this team like 4-1. The over kind of is. I'm thinking twice about the over a little bit, Jim, but I really like that puck line look on Vegas. I almost wish maybe I threw that team in my money line parlay other than the last game. I do think more I talk about a Vegas get her done.
Well, let's move back. But at this point, you're not moving on it?
I don't know.
Well, take your time.
I'll tweet it out because I'm getting cold feet on this both teams to score first period. So I'm gonna hold back.
All right, let's move on to the next spot. Arizona Coyotes 23, 50-7, 13, 23-4 on the road at Dallas Stars 45, 30-5, 26, 10-3 at home. American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Is it going to be Harry Sateri in that? Because I thought that he was going to come over from the KHL and play okay, and I backed him on that first game. He's been atrocious. Going up against Wedgwood, Wedgwood wants to start for the Stars. So if your thoughts align with Birdie's that the Stars are coming off very emotional shootout victory and are going to be drained for this spot, then
same with Arizona, though. Arizona came off that big win last night.
Yeah, I don't trust Dallas, but they haven't reached their goal yet. And I think it's a pretty easy coaching angle to get these guys fired up. But as Gogster said, both teams on the second half back-to-back. Coyotes snapped their 10-game losing streak with a surprise 5-3 win at Minnesota last night. One more shout-out to Nutflush Allen, who had the Coyotes in regulation, I believe, at plus 1164, just under 12-1. Schmaltzy, career highs in goals and points, 23 and 57. Stars won their second straight game, 3-2 over Vegas in a shootout. Almost guarantee their spot in the playoffs. I do think there's something to play for the Stars.
Me too, 100%.
Well, no, not just like to get into the playoffs. I think that look, the Avalanche and the Flames are both very good hockey teams. And Dennis probably doesn't agree with me in what I'm about to say, but I would rather play the Flames than the Avalanche. The Stars have very little chance, almost no chance against either of them. But I would prefer to play.
I agree with you. They don't have much of a chance. I think both of them are tough outs.
I would prefer to play Calgary. Not that it's that much easier, but I would. Colorado's now, maybe that's a mistake because of Colorado's injuries and all that. Maybe Colorado is the team that comes out a little weak in the first game or two of the playoffs with Landeskog maybe not getting a game in. And
is Taves coming back there? Devon Taves, is he coming back?
He's back. He was back last game.
Perfect.
Yeah. He was just
that's good.
Richie Rich is on the over. Jason Robertson, 22-year-old, spectacular young hockey player. Rupee Hintz, spectacular young hockey player. It's a joy watching these guys play. Robertson gets his 40th goal. Take it away here. I'm not moving on this game. Coyotes, Stars, it's up to you.
Roll it over from last night from these Stars against Coyotes. I think Coyotes, personally, I think that was a huge win for them. Coming off that 10-game losing streak to beat Minnesota, playoff hockey team on the road, Minnesota, very impressive. I think this is a big letdown for them. You could say the same for Dallas, but they know they don't. The last thing they want to do is to lose to Arizona, or you know what I mean. They're not going to lose to Arizona. So I'm going to actually take a little first period, Jimmy, minus 0.5. It's actually minus 113 at Pinnacle. Only minus 113. Get that minus 500, almost down to even money. Dallas first period minus 0.5. I think they jump all over this Hari Satari, who looks like he's smoked a couple bowls or something. Like he looks just right out of it. He's the goalie for Arizona, so there's problem in Coyote land with him going. And after that huge win, I have to take Dallas. I'm going to take them early here, guys. Pavelski to score, Rupee Hintz, Robertson. One of those three are going to probably two of the three are probably going to score tonight. So I like Dallas first period. Him, that's going to be an addition.
All right, Dallas first period, and that is minus a half, minus 113. You already tweeted that out and locked that in. Beautiful. And Dennis loves that cappers like me have these foolish thoughts that Colorado might be better than Calgary, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see both teams play. And because God, I had Calgary to win the division at plus 625 a few years ago. They won the division and then lost in 5 games to Colorado. Now Sutter is going to create accountability with his hockey team, but and look, they're a tougher group than they were, but we all see what happens to Johnny Hockey come playoff time, and he needs to change that narrative. And it's up to him to do that. Maybe Sutter's the perfect coach for him to do that. Billy Friedrich says I'll be fading Flames in the playoffs, and Birdie says Flames are unknown in the playoffs. So Sutter Avs and with Sutter and the Avs have choked the last 3 years. Either way, tough teams. All right, and
Rodney, see Rodney there. Arizona's lost 14 in a row at Dallas. You'd think Dallas wins it here.
Yeah, I get it. And Rod Zawacki with 10-star play today. Kings Kraken under 6. So I had the Kings -1 queued up just because I thought Pittsburgh was going to give them a better game. If Pittsburgh beats Edmonton, then the Kings destroy the Kraken. Now, this game is a meaningless game for the Kings now. How do we not take Kraken early? How do we not take the Kraken first period? I don't know how we don't. There's no reason for the Kings to do anything here. They have nothing to play for whatsoever. They're coming off their 4th straight win, though. Kraken are on the second half of the back-to-back. Kraken do not look good, and they don't have Vince Dunn now. And Kraken are trash, but I don't know if I want to back a shitty Kraken team against a team that has nothing to play for. But I probably should. I probably should take the Kraken first period here. It's probably a smart bet. Maybe I will. Let's hear your breakdown, Gogster. Take it away, Kings Kraken.
I probably should have thrown Vegas on that moneyline parlay, but I got LA Kings on this moneyline parlay with Winnipeg, Jim. It's at plus 136, guys. That's the moneyline edition. Now, that does definitely hurt the fact the LA Kings do not have as much to play for, but, just Doughty and Anderson are out. To be honest, guys, I can't make as much of a case other than the fact, similar to Winnipeg, LA Kings are a better hockey team than the Seattle Kraken are. But Drieger 3-5, he has looked a little bit better. I had to lean towards no goal in the first 10 minutes here too, guys. But I don't have a lot on this game, even though it is one of my additions on my parlay. I like Quick's 10-3-5 on the road. He's been solid on the road. It's just the motivation factor does come into play here. It's a back-to-back for Seattle. Give me LA. Give me LA here, Jim. It's going to be the money line and parlay edition, guys. If you guys want to throw on Winnipeg and the Vegas Golden Knights, nothing wrong with that too. I got to stick with what the original play was overnight. So we're doing the LA Kings and the Winnipeg Jets money line parlay. That's at plus 136 overnight. You can actually get that, Jim, I believe, at plus 150. So yeah, nice plus number there, guys. Two teams just got to win the game. Doesn't matter if it's an overtime shootout. LA Kings, Winnipeg Jets. And I do like Jimmy's play too on the puck line on Vegas. I might even add that.
Yeah, interesting. It makes it fun. I love when great cappers have a different angle or a different idea on the game, and Birdie's angle at these two teams are emotionally spent is going to make another layer of fun when I watch these games tonight. And, Dennis Garcia's confidence in the Flames and calling anyone who thinks that the Avalanche are more dangerous than them foolish is fun and hilarious. And I love it. So here we go. Gogster is a 2-team money line parlay. Jets and Kings at plus 136, and he's got Dallas first period minus a half, minus 113. At this point, I should bet the Kraken first period, but
we're going to be able to tell. Sorry, right 10 minutes into the game, you're going to be able to tell how much LA wants this game or not. So that's, in my opinion, you'll be able to tell. I don't see them just all of a sudden turning it on in the second or the third. You're going to tell their style of the game probably after the first 10 minutes. So
Deacon says consistent supporting losing teams. Ottawa, Denver, now Dallas. So there we go. And I'm just doubling up on that Vegas game. I'm on the over 6. I destroyed that market move. And look, destroying market moves has given me a negative ROI so far this year in NHL. I got over 6 at minus 105. It's now over 6 at minus 125, or over 6.5, excuse me, a half goal up and juice to minus 125. But look, I think that Vegas has one more game in them before DeBoer is fired, and they feel terrible that they fired the class act Gerard Gallant. There you have it. That is NHL today. We have a very interesting card tomorrow, Gogster, so it'd be great to have you back in action, my friend.
Yeah, so I just let you know there, I might be a little late there. I got a couple of things I got to run around there in the morning, so I'll let you know what time. I might be 11:15, a little bit later tomorrow.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll figure that out.
Sounds good.
Get that cash. There he is.
Guys, thank you. Much love. Peace.
All right, we are now moving on to MLB, and your MLB expert, fresh back from Las Vegas. He is 9 wins and 8 losses on this show. His average line is plus 102. So he's at 52.9%. He's up 1.21 units with an ROI of plus 7.12%. And get used to the black with your next capper because he's always there in every sport. Please welcome to the show, the Big Ragoo in the house. How are you, my man?
Yeah, man. What's happening? How are we doing, guys?
Doing great. How was Vegas?
Vegas was good, man. I spent a couple days up on the Strip. I got to hang out with Nut Flush at the Orleans, which we had a great time doing there. I fucking destroyed them on Saturday. I swept everything I did. Cards, roulette, sports, horses. I went on a six streak horse race. I smashed them up for a couple K on those. And then I gave a little bit back on Sunday. I hit a little plus 954 parlay on the baseball, 3-0 that day. And then Sunday I gave a little bit back. So that's how it goes, though. You win some, you lose some, and you win a few more.
That's right. Do you have your pick for the Kentucky Derby?
Not yet. Epicenter's looking large. It's hard. His horse is extremely beautiful. You're spectacular form. I mean, and then, that late runner from Chad Brown, Zandon, is looking pretty good too. So the top 2 horses are looking real good, but we're going to find a long shot to compete.
Well, I'm excited. And I hope you get to spend the day with us.
Yeah, we will. We will.
All day Friday and Saturday. So, Ragoo, you were excellent on your last day here with us. You got right back into the black. let's get to work. Great to see all of you guys. Dutch Boy Fresh, Dabby Cab, Joe Yurkovich, Spenny Penny Bombs, Berkey. Berkey now. Christopher Carter, Kyle Hintley, and Topset. Kyle Hintley, and man, what a great capper this guy is. Big boy bets. And Failed at Life says that Steve Cohen walked through the visiting clubhouse in St. Louis last night. The Mets clubhouse made it clear that any Mets player who hits a home run off Steven Matz will get a new car today. A new car. All right, let's get right to work. We start at 1:15 p.m. Eastern. The New York Mets 14-5, 9-3 on the road at St. Louis Cardinals, 9-7, 3-3 at home. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. The first thing that I was messaged this morning was from our Dommy Gun Ricci. And Dommy said that you must move on these New York Mets today. And I studied it a little more, and I did. I moved on them on the -1 line. 66 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 10.6 miles per hour out to left field. Goes up to about 11.8 and gets warmer throughout the day. It's nice weather for baseball. Then we have Joe Yurkovich. Joe Yurkovich, who says, I don't like this Mets lineup today. So we'll go over that Mets lineup. Viper MB on the Mets first 5 money line at -110. TJ says, was hesitant on Mets cards with Jimmy on the Mets while I thought the value was on the cards. Waited for the line to get to +115 and bet it. Went to check in. It's now +101. Topset took the Mets -1.5 +158. And Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is the New York Mets. And I believe I have that already here. Yes, the New York Mets. Berkey also on these New York Mets. So let's go over the market movement here in this spot, and then go over where the cash lies, and then hand it over to the Big Ragoo. These Mets, they open up at -115 and go all the way up to -135. That was at 9:18 this morning. And then there's been a 15-cent move back to the Cardinals. So the Cardinals got up to +115. They're now at +100 and -120. This total is sitting at 7. There's been a 5-cent move to the over since it opened. Let's pull up the lineup that Joe Yurkovich is not impressed with here very quickly and see what we are dealing with. Confirmed Mets lineup. We have Nemo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, Escobar, Kanya, Davis, Gilorm, and Nito. I'm comfortable with that. On the card side, Edmund, Goldschmidt, O'Neill, Arenado, Dickerson, Carlson, DeYoung, Molina, and Sosa. And Carrasco on the bump. He's looked excellent this year. You know, we all cheer for him after getting over or battling leukemia. The way he did was inspiring, and he's just loved across the league, and it's easy to bet on him. So thankfully he's playing well, and we're making money because he's easy to cheer for. 1.47 ERA, 0.60 whip, and 18 1/3, 20 Ks, 2 walks, beautiful K to walk ratio. Last start, 7 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 7 Ks, no walks, and a 6-2 win at home over the Giants. Steven Matz, who I believe is susceptible, but he signed a juicy 4-year, $40+ million contract with the Cardinals. He looked very vulnerable last year when he pitched for Toronto, but you know, the AL East historically is filled with offense. 5 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks, 2 walks in his last start at Cincinnati in a 4-2 win. Well, we know what Cincinnati does to lefties. Squad ass, nothing. Mets versus lefties haven't started out strong. 226, 636 OPS. Cards versus righties, so 214, 596 OPS, and both bullpens have been good this year. Take it away, Ragoo. First game on the board, Mets, Cardinals.
And when I first seen this game, I looked at the Matt situation, obviously, you know, going back to play his old team. But, I mean, if you look at situations like that, like, you know, the thing with the card, those are all kind of sidebar shit. But in reality, you know, he's a pretty decent pitcher. I think he's gotten lucky with his 1.61 whip, you know, having a 2-1 record and a 5.27 ERA. And Carrasco, that's the feel-good story, obviously. But he's pitched well and early on, and I think he'll continue to have some success. St. Louis has been a bit of a surprise for me with their run differential. They're on the plus side. They kind of crept up to the top of the board in that division, which I think things will kind of even out for them long term. And the Mets, you know, who's come out of the gates quicker than the Mets? I don't think anybody right now, other than maybe possibly the Dodgers. But I mean, the Mets are, you know, they're the team to beat right now in the league, and they got the pitching, they got the bats. They come from behind, they win late, you know. And when I looked at the number, I thought it looked kind of cheap. I know St. Louis is a good team here, but I bet the Mets. This is one I already got to the window with early. I bet it at -120, and I think I think it's a good value here for the Mets as good as they're playing. And don't forget, St. Louis is on a 3-game losing skid, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to the window with the Mets and looking to cash out big, -120.
All right, well, let's see if I can beat that price right now, as the late move has been on the Cardinals. And you can get a -115 right now at Pinnacle. So let's lock you in here. Ragoo is on the board. Ragoo is on the Mets at -115. Joe Yurkovich also on the Mets today. He was questioning the lineup, but he likes it enough to follow through. This has changed. So with the big bets coming in on the Cardinals, now 31% of the money line tickets are on the Cardinals and 48% of the cash. That was not the case when I bet it. So that makes me a little uncomfortable. I say what, Ragoo?
Same here. When I was looking at the numbers, they were skewed heavily towards the Mets this morning.
Yeah, so that is concerning. 37% of tickets, 74% of cash is on the under. We have matchup-wise against Mats. Oh, shit, sorry, just came off here. Let me get back here. Against Mats, matchup-wise, we have let's get this up here. Here we go. Some success against them.
Yeah.
We have Alonso with a jack against them in 3 at-bats. Mark Kanya just 1 for 2 against them. Eduardo who's Eduardo's not even in the lineup, is he? Yes, he is. He's DHing today. He's hit some 3 for 6 with a jack against them. Francisco Lindor 2 for 6. So these guys get to him. They get to him. Against Carrasco, you have Paul Goldschmidt, who's 2 for 3 against him, and Molina, who's 2 for 5, but nobody else touches him at all. So we will see. I got in at a line that I don't like anymore. Clearly, I got the -1 when they were at -125. So my -1 is at +111. One of 5 bets I've made so far. And let's move on. And Joe Yurkovich says the line dropped enough for me to take the Mets. And Hunter Engelhart's on the Mets team total over 3.5 -108 at Barstool says it's a favorite player of the game with the win and the matchup splits. That makes sense to me that you like that spot as well. Guys, especially with the Cardinals bullpen beaten up the way it is. And that was something that Ragoo was talking about. I'd be curious to see what I would get on that Mets team total. I don't know if I want to double up on the spot, but I don't trust Mats, and any lefty's going to look good against the Cincinnati Reds. I don't think that's a big deal. Let's just quickly see the team total for me if I wanted it is also 3.5. Interesting. And TJ's on the over 7 official play. TJ opened up his account yesterday for the season. He swept the board. So I think that the Mets team total over like Hunter's on is interesting and exciting. Okay, and -112 at Bookmaker and Bet Online. Thank you, Billy. So the even better line for Ragoo. All right, let's move on to the second game on the card. We are all over that one. I did pull the trigger on this one in Chicago. I did take the under 3.5, and it was -105. And I know 3.5 is not a lot of runs, but it is freezing cold in Chicago this morning, and not nice offensive weather. 36 Fahrenheit at opening pitch and 14.2 miles per hour, but it's sideways from left to right across the diamond, which will help both pitchers' movements. And Dylan Cease coming off a rough start. I expect a bounce back situation for him. These Royals 6-9, 1-4 on the road against the White Sox, 6-10, 4-3 at home. Let's take a look at the market movement here in this Royals spot. There we go. The Royals open up at +130, and it's just White Sox money and White Sox money and more White Sox money. And it's funny because the first 3 hours, there was an initial move to the White Sox, but then it came back to the Royals. But we've had a 35-cent move towards the Chicago White Sox. They're now -185. From a total standpoint, it opened up at 7.5, dropped to 7, came back to 7.5, and now is sitting at 7, juiced to the under at -120. When we go over to the cash flow in this one, we have 7,944 tickets in. 60% of the tickets, 81% of the cash on the White Sox, and the market moving towards them. 55% of the tickets, 61% cash on the under. TJ says Cease getting too much respect, +171 now to Kansas City. Says, got a bite with Chicago White Sox not hitting. Billy Friedrich says, as a Chi Sox fan, I can't back them here. And Steph Brasco looking at that KC Royals team total over. THC is Rizza says money line on KC, great value. Greinke has started the year very well. He does have only 2 strikeouts in 16 innings, but it's 38-year-old Greinke. That's who he is now. 2.25 ERA, 1.19 WHIP. Just 3 walks on the year. Hasn't allowed a home run. Last start was a 1-0 loss at home versus the Twins. He went 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, 1 K and 1 walk. Cease did not look good in that 6-3 loss at Cleveland. 4 earned runs, 8 hits, and 5 1/3. But he's a pitcher with high upside. Royals versus righties, 218, 625 OPS. That sounds shitty until you look at the White Sox versus righties, 197, 555 OPS. Royals bullpen, 3.92 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. They got hit immediately when the season started, but they've been much better of late. And the White Sox bullpen, 3.98 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. Take it away here, Ragoo. Royals, White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox, they've been struggling a little bit. I mean, they're ranked, they're the 4th worst team in the league with a minus 24 run differential, 2-8 the last 10. They've got some struggles here to put up against. I don't think this is a good spot for them to get right. We know Greinke's the old wily veteran here. He knows how to pitch around these guys. He's been in the league a long time. And the White Sox is, the struggles with the bat here. I don't see him getting right in this particular spot. Not a good weather conditions, like you were saying. And at the same time, the Royals, there might be a little value built in this play here, but the Royals, they've been struggling. I think Greinke, they're saying a little stat on Greinke, like his last 4 starts have been unders, so that's good to the under too. And my first look at this was full game under 7. When I was looking at it, I looked first. I was thinking, well, maybe somebody's going to get touched up here, but then starting to peel back the numbers and looking at what the Sox had going and the Royals. I first lean towards the Royals, but I think the stronger play here would be. I still like the Royals on the lean, but I think the stronger play is definitely here on the under. I don't see the 7 is a low number for this type of matchup, but like you said, the conditions and the way. The way Greinke goes about things, and the bats that are struggling with the Sox. The Royals are their bats are going to be the big question mark here, whether the game gets over. I don't think the White Sox are going to put many runs up here. I could see maybe 3 runs, 4 max if they win the game, and same thing with the Royals. So I think 7 is a decent number here. I think it's juiced. Where's the juice on the total right now, Jim?
It's minus 116 at Pinnacle, and let's
towards the under or towards the over.
Under, yeah.
Towards the under, yeah. Okay. Well, that's my look. I'm going to be on it. I'm going to take whatever you get me on under 7 runs.
And let's see if I can beat that here. Yeah, no, it's even more juice there. So let me know if anybody can beat that minus 116. I'm on the first 5 under 3.5 at minus 105. And Ragoo is on the under 7 at minus 116 at this point. TJ moving on the Royals, first 5 plus a half at plus 115. Wow, that's a great line.
Yeah,
wow.
I had the Royals plus on my hard leans. I still might get to the window with that. I'm not out, but as of right now, I'm not playing it.
I've got plus a half at minus 115, so you got 30 cents better. Steph Brasco saying 3-2 Royals. Wow. And big shout out to Kyle Hintley and been cashing these monster bets. And we've been sitting back and, living vicariously through them. And what an easy casher he had last out. He's picking pitchers he's fading, and he's fading them with heavy dollars and doing spectacular work. And Corbin was the pitcher of fade last week for a huge for 5 racks. Shout out to Kyle Hintley, and thank you for the $10 dono, my man. It means a ton to us. Thank you for the love, man, and thinking of us. So we have Ragoo on the under 7 at minus 116. I took the under 3.5 at minus 105, but I understand both spots. Red Girl in the house, great to see you, and great to have Hunter Engelhart in the chat and working on getting Hunter Engelhart here, capping baseball with us live on Pub Sports, which will be happening soon. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. 3:40 p.m. Eastern. Los Angeles Dodgers 12-5, 6-4 on the road to the Arizona Diamondbacks 7-11, 4-7 at home. I believe the roof is open again here today. I thought that's what I said yesterday, but let me just confirm that what the roof status is quickly, as it's very important. And the roof status here on Wednesday is open. So it's open again here. Let's take a look at the weather in this spot. First pitch 90 Fahrenheit, gets up to 92, and it's 11.8 miles per hour out to sideways out to right field. But it's out to right field. Take a look at the market history here in this one. With Urias going up against Gallen. I can't wait to hear your breakdowns on Urias, who hasn't looked very good to start the year. Dodgers open up at minus 192. They quickly get up to minus 200 and down to 192, back to 200. And then they're dropping. They're now at minus 180. So there's been a 20-cent move towards the Diamondbacks in 2 hours, between 7:30 in the morning to 9:30 in the morning. This total opened up at 8, minus 115 to the under at Bet365. At 10:13, it became a pick'em. When we go over to the cash flow in this spot in the Dodgers game, we have two teams here have been given full line value as per Sports Insights. Two teams have been given full line value on this card, and one team has been given a little bit, and then the Mets have a tiny bit, and then the tiniest sliver on Chicago. But the two teams who have full line value on today's card are the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Baltimore Orioles. These Diamondbacks have 12% of the tickets and 59% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. 63% of the tickets, 96% cash on the under. So clearly a feeling that Zach Gallen is going to have a strong start here. Sharpie says, please stop saying Urias doesn't look good. Back-to-back solid outings and a 3 ERA, and says, come on, man. So that's what Sharpie is saying about Urias. Clearly the market does not agree with that standpoint, Sharpie, but I hear you. Yeah, his numbers are fine in 12 innings. 6 walks. I mean, your K to walk ratio, 11-6. I mean, if you continue that K to walk ratio throughout the rest of the season, you won't start for the LA Dodgers. But he's coming off a nice start against the Padres, 6-1 win at San Diego, 5 innings, 2 hits, and 1 earned run. Gallen coming off a 5-inning, 2-hit, 1 earned run, no homers, 7 Ks, 1 walk, extra inning loss at home to the Mets. The Diamondbacks aren't hitting lefties at all. 163, 504 OPS. Dodgers versus righties, 259, 782 OPS. Dodgers bullpen being much better than the Diamondbacks bullpen. And this is the game where we have the hottest MLB capper in the business. Jose Bouquet Say Hey Plays is on this game right now. So please welcome to the show the star of Say Hey, Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you?
Doing well. Ragoo, nice to see you again as well.
Hey, brother.
Doing pretty good. Another successful day yesterday. Ragoo helped me on that pass. Shout out to you, Ragoo. 4-2 day yesterday. Plus basically 2 units, 1.9 units. Season record 79-61 plus 24 units so far.
Beautiful.
So pretty successful. Pretty successful. Can't complain.
Beautiful, beautiful. And making moves here, Jose. Take it away. We'll start with you, and then we'll go to the Big Ragoo. Dodgers, Diamondbacks, what's your look?
Well, I'm going to introduce everyone to a stat that I learned about, I'd say yesterday. And we're learning baseball stats get made every day and everything. And my guy, Eno Saris of The Athletic, he has, I don't know if he technically created it, but he writes a column every month, and it just ranks pitchers. And he does it for fantasy baseball, but I use it for this. It's called Pitching Plus and Stuff Plus and Location Plus. All those stats, just general pitching stats, and you can see how good your pitchers are. And if you look at his pitching or his Stuff Plus rating, I was looking at him, I was like, damn, I bet on all of these guys, and all of these guys are my guys. So I'm going to start using Stuff Plus, Location Plus, and all that stuff to start finding pitchers that I like to bet on. And I'd like both these guys here today, Zach Gallen and Urias. I like Urias a lot. First start in Colorado was shitty. We could all admit that. But he's starting to bounce back, and his Stuff Plus is a 109.7. And remember, if a baseball stat has a plus on the end of it, it's based out of 100. So 109 is 9% above average for his Stuff Plus, and then 107 Location Plus. So I still believe in Urias. And then Zach Gallen on the other side, he's the ace of this staff, the hidden gem in the desert for these Diamondbacks. Actually, that's Merle Kelly. I forgot. According on this program, it's Merle Kelly. Again, Jim, we know your starting rotation. Zach Gallen, 2 starts this year, both against the Mets. 9 innings, 4 hits, an earned run, 9 Ks, 2 walks against the best hitting team in baseball against righties. I think that's pretty impressive right there. His stuff plus 108, location plus is 102.7. I'm looking to bet on pitchers over 100. Ideally, that would be the goal. You can find his rankings on The Athletic in his article. You got to pay for The Athletic, though, so shout out to them. Ultimately, all this to say, obviously, Noli's rubbed off on me a lot, and I took the first 5 under here. I bet basically all unders. Actually, I say literally all unders except for one first 5 I've added during the show, actually. But I took the first 5 under 4 minus 110 here. I expect both these guys to come out there and shove.
Well, let's lock you in. First 5 under 4. What was the juice, Jose?
Minus 110.
Minus 110. First 5 under 4 at minus 110 as a say hey play. Stick around with us as we hear what Big Ragoo is doing for this game. Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
I gotta say, hey, lean. That's a great breakdown by you on the pitching, and that's the direction I was going towards. Also, with I got a little story about Urias because when my nephew, I'm going back to 2010 now. We were in the Cal Ripken World Series, a little team from Ocala, Florida. We played Mexico in the World Championship game, and who was the pitcher? Yours truly, Urias. Now our guys were playing fucking Nintendo, and these Mexican kids that were supposedly 12 years old with pencil mustaches chasing pussy all around the pool area. So
hell yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, he owes me a little bit of money for that loss. I'm not going to bet on him today, but I'll get even with him sometime during the season. But he did have he had a shaky first game, which kind of skews his numbers. And I got to agree with Sharpie. I think he'll be all right here. But I think the Diamondbacks, they have the worst batting average in the league, batting like 182. Forget about the lefty thing, also. But just overall, they're just bottom tier, and they got their win last night. So I'm hard pressed to think they can come back to back and win again. But I'm not going to lay the big number with the Dodgers. So I too lean towards the under. I think both pitchers will do well today, and I think full game under would be a good spot too. But right now, I'm leaning on that too. So I'll probably get to the window with it. Right now, I'm leaning with it.
All the Diamondbacks money is scary, though. It makes me worry that they think that Urias is going to have a bad start here. But like Ragoo said, this is the worst team against lefties, 56 weighted runs created plus. So I'd be pretty surprised if he's the one giving up runs. Maybe it's a bullpen implosion they're seeing again, but not sure what the money going on the Diamondbacks is seeing, basically.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I was looking closely at the Diamondbacks first 5 plus a half, but still I didn't really have the courage to bet it. But the more I look at Urias' record, I think that first start just kind of stuck in my head more than it probably should have, and I can understand Sharpie backing up Urias here. The first 5 plus a half was available to me at minus 115. First 5 plus a half. Shout out to Res Mob in the house. What a beautiful cap you had on the Suns trifecta yesterday. Great stuff. James says, all I take is unders with Diamondbacks, and they've been cashing. CT Base says, Diamondbacks first 5 worth a shot if Gallen is better. Could be 1-0.
It makes sense to take a shot at the plus money if you like Gallen, in the first 5. That's a good look too.
It could be, that pitching. It could just be like a better it's Zach Gallen. Everyone knows that he's a really good starting pitcher. Yeah. Let's bet on the Diamondbacks at a big plus money spot.
Yeah. And James S. says, you're crazy to put your money on the Diamondbacks. There's no spots for these guys. They're garbage. And, of course, the Diamondbacks coming off a win over the Dodgers, 16 hours ago. Okay. Say hey play today. First 5 under 4 at minus 108 for Jose. And I like both of the first 5 under and the Diamondbacks first 5 plus a half. I'm interested in both. So I'm going to think about this a little more. But great stuff, Jose. Who is your special guest on today's show?
You scared me there for a second because I forgot, but I looked up and I just remembered it's Donnie Rightside, of course, Pub Sports Radio original. Shout out to Donnie, of course, will be joining me today, breaking down a thick card full of unders, and I'm excited about it. I like this card a lot today, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Beautiful. Have a great show with Donnie, and give us that glorious record one more time.
79.61 plus 24.71 units, rubles, American, as they say.
Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Nice.
There he is right there, running hot. Kyle Hintley and those saying, I'm smashing the Dodgers on the money line. A big bet for Kyle Hintley and being set up here. And a couple leans for Ragoo. We'll see if he ends up pulling the trigger when we do our last review. Okay, let's move on to the next spot on the board. 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Milwaukee Brewers 11-7, 6-4 on the road to the Pittsburgh Pirates. 8-9, 4-3 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have first pitch 39 Fahrenheit and 14 miles per hour out to right field. That dies down to 11.4 miles per hour. So 14 down to 11.4, but all out to right field for the weather. So it's cold, but it is blowing out. When we look at the line history in the Milwaukee Pirates game, Milwaukee opening up at minus 175, being a 5-cent move towards the Pirates. So not much. This total opened up at 7.5, minus 115 to the over. It's now minus 115 to the under. So not a ton there, but it was a slight move towards the under. We go over to where the cash is in this spot. Just 5,787 tickets in. 22% of the tickets on the Pirates and 62% of the cash. Now, we saw this yesterday. We saw big bets coming in on the Pirates, and sure, they lost those bets, but they were right that the Pirates offense was going to touch an elite Brewers pitcher yesterday, and maybe some of those big bets were also including team total overs. But we have the same situation happening again. I guess the big bets coming in believing that Ashby is vulnerable. And even though 78% of the tickets are coming in on the Brewers, just 38% of that cash. Then we have 32% of tickets on the under and 62% of cash on that under. 32 on that under. Ashby 0-2, 3.18 ERA, 1.76 whip. So 8 walks and 13 Ks. 8 walks and 11 and a third. Bryce Wilson also has not looked good. 6 Ks and 8 walks himself. He's allowed 2 home runs in 11 and a third innings as well. The Brewers versus righties, 217, 637.
There's a pitching change, by the way, for the Pirates.
Who is in now?
Dylan Peters.
Dylan Peters is in. Dylan Peters. Wow. Okay. So have you studied Peters at this point? Because I'm going to have to bring all his action, all his stats up. Have you looked at him?
I know he's a left-handed pitcher. I can tell you that. And obviously, if you've looked into the Brewers, they can't hit lefties. He has not started a game this year. He's had 5 relief appearances, but one was at Milwaukee. He went 3 innings, no hits, 3 Ks, and 1 walk. I honestly wanted to bet on Aaron Ashby for a while, but I would honestly lean towards another under here as well. But yeah, Dylan Peters, apparently a slapdick lefty they've just brought up here, but the Brewers refuse to hit anyone that throws left-handed. I think I could throw a couple balls by the Brewers at this point, but
I'm left-handed. I could probably do it.
All right, there we go.
Thank you for firing that out for us.
Yeah, good info.
Quick times. Brewers versus I'll pull up the Brewers versus lefty stats, but Pirates versus lefties, 263, 707 OPS. Sharpie says Pirates hit lefties, Brewers don't. Give me Ashby over Peters, but looms like an under. Brewers bullpen 3.41 ERA, 1.36 whip. Pirates bullpen 4.23 ERA, 1.22 whip. Take it away here, Ragoo. Brewers, Pirates.
Yeah, I was one of the fortunate ones. I took the Pirates last night, first 5, plus I think I minus 110. Anyways, it cashed. I know Cabby was on it. Also, he lost, but he should have went full game like he thought he was going to do. But anyway, shout out to Cabby too, by the way. Good show last night. So listen, this is a spot where Ashby's going to get short work without a doubt. It's his 5th. He's like you said, he's worked 11. He's got a few starts under, a lot of appearances in those short work situations. I think this is another one. I don't think we'll see him go past 4. That's just my thought. I don't know what we're going to get with our new insert for the Pirates, but we'll have to roll with the numbers that were just spewed to us. I think it's another spot where, the Pittsburgh could hit this guy, and I'm getting a little bit of value. I don't think they maybe cash it out full games, but if they go first 5 like they did yesterday, I'll be ecstatic. My action is on the Pirates, the first 5 plus money line plus 160. Yesterday I had the run, the half a run to deal with, but I just think Milwaukee, longer term is going to be, they'll be okay. They're just not scoring a lot of runs right now, and I think plus runs are good, but I'm going to take a swing with the Pirates getting to Ashby early and putting some crooked numbers up in the first 5. I don't care what they do full game, but I think longer term, I think that the better bet here is short term with the Pirates.
Joe Yurkovich says bullpen day for the Pirates, but he says Peters looked fantastic in brief appearances. Maybe Pirates first 3. Billy Friedrich saying Peters will go 2 innings most likely. And Pirates, Jacob saying that Pirates first 5 plus a half is plus 105. And the total just at 7.5. So with the cold weather, I guess they're feeling like there'll be low volatility in this spot. But you'd think with these two pitchers going against each other, there'd be high volatility. But that's not what
I would think so. I would think so.
Let's go to see what we can get you on that first half. For right now, the Pirates are at plus 167, and plus a half, they're plus 109. So plus 167 for the big score. You had a couple big scores the last time you were here on the show. That it was the Orioles. You had a plus 187, I believe.
Yeah, correct.
Full game that cashed for you. Here you have plus 167. Let's just see if Circa can beat that here in this Brewers Pirates spot. We have first 5. No, they're not even close. That's much, much better. And TJ says Pirates first 5 plus a half, bet it at plus 110. Love these plus a half and low totals. And Max Swelly does not believe in what we've seen in the short sample size out of Peters. Swelly saying that Peters is 29 years old, 5'10", who's pitched in 12 games in 3 years. Trash. That's what
we shall see.
Jacob Houston also, just saying Pirates first 5 is plus 105. Interesting. I lean towards the market move or the cash big bets on Pirates, and you and TJ on them as well. So let's lock it in, and I think I'm going to be jumping with you guys in this one. So Ragoo is on the Pirates first 5 at plus 167. Let me know if we can beat that line anywhere. And CT Bay says Pirates worth the same plus money first 5 shot like the Diamondbacks. I agree. This is exciting. We're going to have a lot of afternoon action for ourselves here. So Ragoo is in. I'm going to put a bunch of asterisks beside it because I also want in. Polo this, polo that. Says Bucks at plus 650 to win the championship is God's gift to all of us bettors. Easy money. Says polo this, polo that, who's run with us since I got started. I love the guy. Mr. MDR24 says Pirates team total over 2.5 minus 140. Pirates team total over 3.5 plus 135. So yeah, build the 3. Definitely build the 3. And Sharpie says Ashby going to deal today. And Sharpie going to be on our show tomorrow. Says Ashby going to deal today. Interesting. Pirates walk percentage 1 whole % lower than league average. They don't walk. He goes 5 strong today. Very, 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 very interesting things coming in. Great stuff from the chat as always. And JA saying the Celtics might have something to say about that. Oh, the Celtics will have something to say about that. But and the Heat will probably have something to say about that. The East is exciting. So is the West right now. But let's focus on baseball. Next up, 6:40 p.m. Eastern, San Diego Padres. The Friars 11-7, 5-3 on the road at the Cincinnati Reds. 3-14, 1-5 at home. And the Cincinnati baseball fans are nonplussed with their situation here. And they were building a really good baseball team a couple of years ago. It's too bad. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. You got Mackenzie Gore on the mound. Now, both these pitchers just faced the opposition. Gore went 5 innings, 4 hits, no run, 7 Ks, 2 walks, and 6-0 win at home over these Reds. Gutierrez went 4 2/3, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 2 walks, or 2 Ks, 4 walks, and a 6-0 loss at San Diego. Padres versus Righties, 214, 629 OPS. Reds versus lefties, just 197, 551 OPS. Padres bullpen, 3.98 ERA, 1.06 whip. Reds bullpen, 3.77 ERA, 1.36 whip. And Sharpie says, oh man, wish Gore didn't face this team last week. Cash plus 345, 7 Ks with Gore versus these bums. Nice job. And JA saying Vladimir is garbage this year. So let's take a look at all the important factors in this game and then decide how we will bet it. First off, in Cincinnati, 62 Fahrenheit at first pitch, 11.5 miles per hour out to right center, and it dies down a bit, down to 7 by the end of the game. We go into the market history in this spot. We have the Reds opening up at minus 165. They're now at the Padres open up at minus 165. They're now at minus 170. And from a total look, open at 8.5, juice to the under at minus 120. It's now 8.5, juice to the over at minus 120. And the final look here at the cash, 7,237 tickets in, 15% of the tickets, 37% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. 40% of the tickets, 70% of the cash on the over. Here we go. Ragoo, Padres, Reds, take it away.
So the Reds in this spot, they got the candle burning at both ends with the pitcher, struggles. Gutierrez, he's got a control issue. And then also, the Reds, they're right down there with the D-backs. They're horrific, but at least the D-backs might sprinkle in a few W's in between the Reds. They probably got to be one of the worst teams in the league as far as getting some victors. They got a lot of issues going on. So my first look when I looked at this was how do I bet the Padres to get to the window? So I had some early leans, but now I'm going to turn a lean into a play without a doubt here. And I don't have the number, but I'm going to, with your help, I'm going to turn around and try to get that put together. What would be the first 5? Well, first of all, my lean was the Padres minus 1.5 full game because I didn't want to lay the 180 with them. But I think Gutierrez is going to get touched up early, so I want to take advantage of that portion of the game and not wait full game. God forbid something happens in the bullpen with the Pods, even though the Reds can't hit the ball worth of shit. But at the same time, I want to cash out and I want to cash early. So what is the first 5 minus the half a run?
First 5, the full game on the run line is even money.
It's even.
And that's 2 different books I just looked at. The first 5 minus a half is minus 108 for the Padres.
All right. That's the bet. Minus the 108, minus a half a run.
Nuke, it's sorry, just about Votto. We follow him very closely as he's from, Ontario here. He doesn't want to be traded to the Jays. He's still angry that they didn't draft him. He doesn't care. And I don't want to be so black and white, but it really seems like he doesn't care about winning. We know he's got some anxiety issues and he's very comfortable in Cincinnati. And I'm sure he'd prefer if they were a better baseball team, but it really looks like he just doesn't care about winning and just wants to be comfortable and not hounded and that sort of thing. But I digress. So first 5 minus a half for Ragoo.
Lock it in.
Padres first 5 minus a half at minus 108. Let's hear Dabby Cab says, let's go. I'm on the first 5 minus a half at minus 115 with you. Mike M says, hard to believe it, but I'm on the Reds today. Matty I says, Ragoo, that is also on my card. Sharpie says, I have to stay off. It's over or nothing for me. Just like yesterday, I had Musgrove being hit. Have no back-to-back on Gore, so got to wait and see. I watched last game versus Reds with Gore, and Cincinnati had some good swings. And Dan Kelly says that Votto take is similar to Jose Ramirez in Cleveland. Wow. We hate that that's the case because we've tried to get him up here, but he just doesn't want to be up here. Brian says Reds the worst team. Julian Cesaro says doubled up on the Padres yesterday. Why not again? And Trans-Canada is still open that will honor the Jets at some point. Well, at least I'll say their name out loud. Ragoo, Padres first 5 minus a half. At this point, the only thing sort of keeping me off of it is that some big bets have come in on the Reds. What is our expectation of Gutierrez's upside? Nut Flush On says, look at San Diego team total over. Both these bullpens have been okay. It's just that if we looked at this last year, at this time last year, 3.77 and 1.36 whip for the Reds and 3.98, 1.06 for the Padres. And I know the Padres opened up with the best bullpen in the league last year and not doing it this year, but those are good enough numbers. It's just that league-wide, the bullpens are pitching out of their minds. So I'm not sure. I need more time on this game. Ragoo is on the Padres first 5 -1/2. So is Dabby Cab. Let's move on to 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Mariners 11-6, 4-4 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays, 9-8, 6-5 at home. And I already moved on the Rays -1, and I got a +109 on that. Let me see if I moved on it right now. It'd be a little bit worse than what I got. I'm going to fade Marco Gonzalez on the road, especially against a team that smashes lefties. I don't really trust Marco Gonzalez at home, to be honest with you. But he had a bad first start, and then he had a spectacular second start in the home opener when they shut down the Astros 11-1. And then this last start wasn't very good. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 6 runs, only 2 of which were earned. 1 homer, 6 Ks, 1 walk, and an 8-6 loss at home versus the Rangers. Another team that hits lefties hard. And Drew Rasmussen looked awful in that rain-shortened win at the Cubs, but I expect him to pitch better here. Mariners versus righties, 243, 725 OPS. They can get to him, but Rays are hitting 281, 786 OPS. And I didn't want to double up here. I do think the Rays have a better bullpen than the Mariners, although Mariners bullpen is being really strong this year. 3.09 ERA, 1.10 whip. Rays bullpen, 2.93 ERA, 1.03 whip. I do not trust Gonzalez, Billy Friedrich. It is truth. Let's see what the market move is and what we're talking about with the cash flow here right now. So next up, we have this Rays spot. I moved on to -1. They opened up at -125. They're now at -140. From a total standpoint, it opened up at 7.5 for the pick'em. It's still at 7.5 for the pick'em. And cash-wise here, we have a coin flip. 52% of the tickets, 47% of cash on the Rays, and 66% of tickets, 69% cash on the over, and it hasn't moved. Take it away, Ragoo. Mariners Rays.
I was thinking the same thing with the fade on Gonzalez, but then I'm looking at Rasmussen, and I know he's young. He's got a little bit of a shaky start, with the 5.25 ERA and 12 innings of work, but the Rays do what they do. That their farm system is tremendous. They bring up this young talent consistently, and they develop it. And the Rays, like I mentioned this last time I was on the show, their starting rotation is still a little dinged up. They've adjusted, and their bats were a little struggle early, but they're going to be okay long term. But I don't. And the Rays are. The Seattle's coming in pretty hot. They're playing good. They're 11-6. They're getting good offensive production. They're getting solid pitching, and I have to wait and see on Rasmussen. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm a wait and see type of guy for certain situations, and I know the Rays well. I'm not going to put anybody off the Rays because I'm not going to say they can't get the job done, which they obviously they can. But in this particular spot, I'm not confident either way. I'm probably a little less confident in Gonzalez than I would be in Rasmussen for his spot, but I'm just got some concerns for the Rays going into this game. So I don't want to lay the juice, but if the way I would lean with the Rays on the run line, if anything. But I'm not getting to the window with this game today.
I kind of want to double up here on this spot. I just feel like the Rays can get to Gonzalez. They can get to any lefty with the way they're hitting lefties right now, and
yeah.
But with Rasmussen not pitching great against the Cubs, who are now, the Cubs are hitting, they're lacing balls. But I don't want to double up here, so I'm not going to double up. We'll just leave it at that. Not going to double up. Eric Jones says 4-3 or 3-2 Rays. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. 6:45 p.m. Eastern. The Phillies made a very easy winner for all of us yesterday. It was nice. Colorado Rockies, Philadelphia Phillies. Rockies 10-7, 4-3 on the road. Phillies 8-10, 6-5 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have 25-year-old Ryan Feltner on the mound. He coming to us from Albuquerque. He started 4 games so far this year, and he's looked good. Historically, the PCL league is just ridiculously offensive. I don't know how the issues with the baseballs have affected the minors, but he's looked good in 4 starts. He's 2-0, 3.10 ERA, 1.33 whip. Has allowed 3 homers and 8 walks in 20 and third, but does have 24 Ks to go with that. Going up against Ranger Suarez, whom we backed in that last start at home versus the Brewers. And he came through for us. 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 3 walks. Does have a 1.78 whip, just 9 Ks and 7 walks on the season. Rockies versus lefties, 290, 764 OPS. And the Phillies versus righties, just 249, 698 OPS. CT Bay says Feltner probably going to get rocked. So by the way, both bullpens are struggling. They're the worst. 2 of the worst 3 teams in the MLB at this point. The Rockies are the worst. 4.61 ERA, 1.40 whip. CT Bay says minus 210 is too much, though. I agree. That was my first thought. And I don't know what to make of Feltner, and the idea that he's just going to get raked. I mean, 4th round pick out of Ohio State. He was drafted out of high school late by the Jays, but he was drafted late because everyone knew he was going to go to Ohio State. But in the 2018 draft, he went in the 4th round. Let's just take a quick look at the weather and market history here. In Philly, 50 Fahrenheit, cold at first pitch and blowing in heavy, 15.3 miles per hour. So heavy wind, and it stays around that the whole entire time. Then market-wise in this one, we have the Rockies opening up at plus 175 and now plus 185 at Bet365. So the 10 cents better if you look at it that way. But there's been a 15-cent move on the Phillies, minus 210 to minus 225 there. This total opened up at 8.5 and it's dropped to 8. And not because of the strength of the pitching, I think just because of the cold weather and the wind blowing in. Let's see if the cash matches that. Here we have, where is it? Here we go. We have 72% of the tickets on the Phillies and 49% of the cash. So there are some big bets coming in Feltner. Then we have 41% of tickets and 49% cash on the under. Take it away, Big Ragoo. Suarez, Feltner, Phillies, Rockies.
Yeah, question marks all over the board here, but I think for Philly to win, I think they're going to have a real solid effort out of Suarez. I mean, that's in any baseball game for that matter. But I don't think the Rockies are that bad at hitting lefties on the road. I think they've the last 5-6 games they've been successful in that role. And Crone, he's probably the hottest commodity for that squad and in the league for that matter. He's ripping the ball. He's hitting the ball all over the place. Ribbies, homers. He's getting it done. So I think he can be touched up. I think Suarez could be vulnerable here. And I'm not. When you looked at the value with the inside, the website that you use, what is it? Insights, the one that you get all the team
Sports
values.
Insight. Yeah,
Sports Insights. They show the value on Philadelphia in this spot here. Did you notice that?
No, there's just nothing. There's no value on either side. This is the least amount of games they've shown value. They show value on 4 games, and the 2 full games of value are Arizona and Baltimore.
But I think there's some vulnerability here with Philadelphia for the number. I don't see Suarez being that type of heavy juice pitcher, to get that kind of money. And if I would have to lean on value. But then when I seen the rookie coming up, I'm like, well, how do we bet this thing? So my first initial look was to take the Phillies, and the short number with the -0.5, minus 140. Maybe the kid gets rocked, Feltner gets rocked. But then I'm saying, well, maybe both of these guys get fucking rocked, and the game goes over the total 8.5 runs, and that was my other lean. So I got off of the first lean. I leaned over to the total because I think he can be touched, and I think the new kid on the block is going to get hit a little bit from Philadelphia because they got mega bats in their lineup too. So that's my lean. My look is to play the full game over 8.5 runs. Just lean though.
Yeah, the weather is just really not conducive for
That's
offense.
true too, right? That's the other thing. So you got to take the weather in consideration.
But Sharpie says over or nothing as well.
Yeah,
so
that's the look. I mean, weather permitting, just how much of a detriment is the weather going to be towards the total? I didn't break that down into that game actually, to be honest with you. So I wasn't considering the weather at all. But that was my first look, was the over.
A lot of question marks in this game. I think you put it perfectly and succinctly off the top. And I'm going to stay off. Let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Baltimore Orioles 6-11, 3-8 on the road at New York Yankees, 11-6, 8-3 at home. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Tyler Wells going up against Jordan Montgomery. Wells has not looked good thus far. He's coming off a 6-4 loss at the A's. He lasted 2 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 1 K, no walks. He is got a 1.88 whip in 8 innings so far. Going up against Jordan Montgomery, who's coming off a nice start in a 3-0 loss at Detroit. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 5 Ks, and 2 walks. He's got a 2.51 ERA, 1.05 whip, and 14 1/3 thus far. Orioles aren't hitting lefties. 221, 611 OPS. And Yankees versus righties, 243, 715 OPS. And both bullpens have been good. Yankees bullpen was just lights out to start, and they've regressed a little bit to the mean, but they're still looking good. All right, let's start with the weather over in the Bronx. We have 46 Fahrenheit, cold opening pitch, but 15.9 miles per hour out to right field. It does die down to 11.9 out to right field. And then when we look at the market history in this Yankees Baltimore spot, the Yankees open up at -250. They're now at -270, a 20-cent move towards them. This total opened up at 7.5, and it moved to 8.5. Excuse me, it moved to 8. So it's gone from 7.5 to 8, and it's -120 to the over at 8. And when we look at the cash flow here in the Yankees spot, we have wow. So this was the other spot where they Sports Insights gave full value to the dog, even though the market's moving towards the Yankees. Listen to this. 23. Now there's 9,066 tickets in. 23% of the tickets, 89% of the cash on the Baltimore Orioles. Wow. 36% of tickets, 61% cash on the under. Someone's made a big bet on the O's. Take it away here, Ragoo, Orioles and your Yankees.
O's were one of my plays yesterday. I didn't get there with them, but they put some numbers up, later on, but just didn't get, Yankees out muscled them, 12-8 final score last night. And I usually like to fade teams when they get into the low to mid double digits right away, but we're talking the Orioles here, and Montgomery's effort early on wasn't spectacular, but the Yankees haven't won under Montgomery's last 4 starts. So maybe that could be part of the reasoning. And you did say that the O's don't smash lefties, and Wells will probably get a little bit of a shaky start from him. But this is one of them pesky teams I keep talking about. They're going to get their W's like the D-backs in division, and this is another scenario here. I'm going to be part of that cult with the O's in this particular spot. I'm not going to go the full game with them, but I am going to hit them up in the first 5 at a plus number with the half a run. So I think that's a good look here, because I just think, and they do tend to play unders, Yankees, when they play the higher whip pitchers, which Wells is. And so if it's going to be a lower scoring game, I think that bodes well to the O's early on. So I'm going to take the O's first 5 plus a half, whatever you get me.
Exciting action from Ragoo. I do also have TJ's action. He's on the over 8 at -115, and he's not alone there. I thought I saw Joe Yurkovich also on the over 8 at -1. He is. So both of them are on the over 8 at -115.
That looks cheap after last night, 8 runs, but buyer beware.
Let's see what we can get you on that first 5 plus a half here in Yankees Orioles. Oh, sorry, put this here. And first half plus a half, we get you a plus 114 on the Orioles first 5 plus a half. Ragoo is on the O's first 5 plus a half at plus 114. Plus 114, right? I said that right? Plus 114? Yes. Yeah. All right, you are locked in. CT Bay's taking Orioles full game at plus 210.
Yeah, it's a big number. I like that too. But I'm being a little bit of a puss.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take Orioles full game too, honestly. After all that money. I think that's a pretty weird spot. And Jim, I don't know if we've had a spot like that, like with such a big dog with the majority of the money like that. So I'll gladly take the Orioles against the Yankees, a team that they beat traditionally, like Ragoo said, and the Yankees traditionally don't score runs for J-Mont. So I'll take the Orioles.
Wow, that's wow. Oh, are you making that to say, hey, play the day for our record keeping, or just for your action?
I'll do it both ways, no problem.
Whoa. Okay, let's lock you
You know me, Jim. I go both ways. That's what they say.
Hey, when
God.
Mr. Plus 20-something unit speaks, everybody's got to listen, right?
Yes, that's even if he does go both ways. This is the first I've heard of that, though. I didn't know that was facts. I thought. Okay, Orioles plus 220 here.
Going both ways on us.
Stop repeating it. Someone stop repeating. Plus 220 is the best line we can get you. Say hey play of the day for Jose is.
I have it at plus 205, and that's what I just bet it at. But yeah, I'll take the plus 220 for your show record keeping purposes. Speaking of that, Jim, how's the say hey play record on the show doing?
I am. That is the last thing I've got to get up. We know the specialty plays are the last thing. Look, I've put in many hours catching up with the stats. You guys are last.
I can only imagine. I think that Ella will appreciate the stats being caught up.
Oh, she does not. She does not. Okay, that's fascinating action. Joe Yurvich calling it both way play of the day. Ragoo's on the O's first 5 plus a half at plus 114. Say hey play of the day's Orioles at plus 220. Fascinating. Oh, we have breaking news. Okay, next up, 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Miami Marlins 8-8, 4-5 on the road to the Washington Nationals. 6-13, 3-9 at home. We're at Nationals Park in DC. So let's start with the weather in DC. 55 Fahrenheit. It's a little warmer in DC than it is in New York. 55 Fahrenheit at first pitch, and the wind's blowing in 13.8 miles per hour at the start, 12.4 miles per hour by the end of the game. Pablo Lopez versus Eric Fetty. My first thought was Lopez has looked. We all know his home and road splits in the past, but that was something I thought he was getting over as he was becoming a more mature pitcher on the mound. And I was saying, when I was capping, I was like, it's time to trust Lopez on the road, and it's time to back him here against Fetty. And then I went to the cash flow, and there were big bets made on Washington. So I was like, okay, I'll just not bet it. That's fine. But 17% of the money line tickets are on the Nationals and 56% of the cash. So there's syndicates or somebody out there who believes that Lopez will have some issues here on the road. 75% of tickets are on the under, but just 36% of cash is on the under. Wind is blowing in. It's not nice weather for offense, but not trusting these pitchers. Viper MB says Fetty is an auto fade. Joe Yurkovich is on the Marlins minus 135. Don Max says Fetty's actually being okay. Got unlucky versus the D-backs first 5 under. Sharpie's on the first 5 under 4 minus 120. Says Fetty dealt last year, and Pablo dealt versus Fetty dealt versus the Marlins last year, and Pablo dealt versus the Nats. TJ says I kept this closer to plus 100 for Washington. Like the value. Fetty shows up, but Washington pen is a poop, as TJ has referred to it as. And CT Bay says Soto owns Lopez. All right. First 5 under 4 minus 120 for Sharpie. Okay, so let's just quickly look at the market history and touch on this a little bit more and then hand it over to Ragoo. We have the Marlins opening up at minus 135. They got up to minus 155 at 7:45 this morning. Since then, there's been 10-cent buyback on the Nationals. From a totals look, it opened up at 7.5 minus 120 to the under, and it is still there. Fetty did not look good in his last start, an 11-2 loss at Arizona. 3 1/3, 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 of which were earned, 1 homer, 3 Ks, and he's got a 1.65 whip in 13 1/3 thus far. Pablo was lights out, and we all cashed off of him in his last start against the Cardinals. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 9 Ks, no walks. He has a 0.52 ERA, a 0.75 whip thus far. The Nats are just 3-9 at home, and the Marlins are 8-8, 4-5 on the road to start the year. Marlins versus righties 249, 732 OPS. They're hitting them pretty strong and higher than the league average. Nats versus righties just 229, 633 OPS. And the Marlins bullpen has been good as expected. 3.32 ERA, 1. Actually, the analysis preseason was that they were not going to be very good. They're pitching better than expected, I guess. But I thought they were going to be their bullpen was going to be fine, just like last year. Nats bullpen 3.94 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. Take it away, Ragoo. Marlins Nationals.
Yeah, Marlins are going to be one of these teams. That's the team I bet a team total over with Jose on the show early on, when we're in San Antonio. I figured they'd be okay, the top 3 starters. I mean, Alcantara, Lopez, they give them excellent shots to win games. The bats hold up. The bullpen's decent. But you got to be real spotty with the Marlins, and this is kind of one of those teams. I mean, one of those spots where I'm taking a little bit of pause because of the money, the action coming in on the Nats. You know, the bigger bet, so to speak. It might be a good look for the total here with the weather. And Fetty, Fetty has had some recent outings, where he has been tough on the Marlins. I can't trust the Marlins bats all the time to kind of to score the bigger runs. And with the conditions of this game, I take a little pause on that. But one thing's for certain here, that the Nats are the worst in the league with the run differential, -41. They don't score runs. That's a given. So with the weather conditions, the question marks with the Nats bats. Maybe we get a little lull in the game with the Fetty dealing against the Marlins. I was leaning towards a full game under 7.5 in this spot. I'm not getting to the window. It's just a lean.
Lean to the under 7.5. I would like to back Lopez and fade Fetty. I'm not going to. Mark is going to take me off of it. But I can understand people wanting to do that. And I don't see how that first 5 under 4 isn't in play. I imagine that Sharpie's going to get a better line than I'm going to get right now, but I would be curious to see what I would get. Yeah, I'm not going to get that because the first 5 under 3.5 right now is at +100.
Yeah, it's probably like -140 or something like that.
I'm imagining then the first 5 under 4.5 will be -170. It's -190. Yeah, is a 4.5. So yeah, I'm not even
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, that's the 4.5 -190. So I'm not going to put that in.
Can I alleviate some of your pressures with Eric Fetty here?
Yes, absolutely.
I was shocked to read this stat from Eric Fetty. Career versus the Miami Marlins, 4-0, 1.43 ERA, and 37 innings pitched. Only 4 allowed runs, 4 home runs too. So if he's giving them up their home runs, 43 Ks, only 11 walks for Fetty versus the Miami Marlins in his career. And last year in particular, if you're thinking this might be like, distance way off in the past, he went 2-0 against them with a 1.61 ERA. So I'm on the under here, to say the least. Ragoo, pull the trigger on the under. I'm on the first 5 under.
What did you get that at?
I got it a much shittier number than what you have right now. I got the under 3.5 because I believe in Eric Fetty that much apparently. And Pablo on the road is scary, but I take him under 3.5 at -115.
Wow.
And for the people at home, a reoccurring segment on Say Hey Plays, Jim, that you might not know about. Pablo Lopez has not responded to me throughout this whole year, and it's been really sad for my self-esteem. Been really sad.
I love that. I need that poster on my wall. Okay. Wow.
All right, Jimmy, shop that number for me. Let's see what we got going.
For the full game or the first 5?
No, the first 5.
The first 5. Let's see what we can get you. Sorry, move over here. The first 5 in that. So it's +100 at Bet365 right now, but I imagine that there's better out there because, the under, has moved to 7. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. First half, under 3.5, +102 at Pinnacle, and over at Circa, the first 5 under 3.5 is, they're giving you a 4 at -124. Oh, I like that.
Let's roll with that one. I'd rather get the 4.
Let me see if Pinnacle can beat that though. No, they can't. -129. I like that. If I could bet that at -124 right now, I love that Sharpie got the -120. Okay, so Ragoo, you are in. First 5 under 4 -124. But it's still -120 at some offshores, and -121 Brian's seeing. Okay, so if anybody can, and Bovada has -120 right now. Wow. Okay, so you're in. Let's rock. There's Piker in the house. Great to see you, Poker Addicted. Now we move on to 7:07 p.m. Eastern. We have the Boston Red Sox at the Toronto Blue Jays here. And, God, the Jays just keep coming at you. What a ball club. and I have no futures on them. And I need the Yankees just to keep winning baseball games so that there might be a chance that I can get some sort of number on these Jays. But we have also reached sweet taint. The taint play of the day is Boston Red Sox. Team total over 3.5 at -125. And Matty Ice is also on the Red Sox, but he's on the Red Sox at -125. Red Sox, Jays, Red Sox now 7-11, 4-7 on the road. Blue Jays 12-6, 6-2 at home. We're at the Rogers Center. Roof will be closed. Waka going up against Stripling. And I don't trust Stripling. And Waka has been pitching good. 1.88 ERA, 0.91 whip, 12 Ks and 14 1/3. We backed him in his last start against the Rays. It was a 4-3 win for them. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 Ks, 2 walks. He bent, but didn't break. Stripling had his first more difficult start. He's still pitching, I believe, better than I just think he's going to regress, and he showed a sign of it in his last start at Houston, but he still pitched okay. 4 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks, 1 walk. It was a 4-3 win for the Jays. The Red Sox aren't hitting righties, 229, 624 OPS, and the Jays' numbers versus righties have been dropping. Now hitting 251, 737 OPS. C. James, what is happening, my man? CT Bay says Red Sox and Waka tonight. Mark Schillingberg said that Buxton walk-off crushed me, cost me 3-team parlay my fantasy week with Liam as my closer. And Piker says Waka, the lone bright spot on the Sox. Certainly we won't fade him here, especially for Stripling. On the other hand, the market likes the Jays, and the Sox don't appear to be bet on right now. He is passing. Don Max is walking new pitch mix, getting him solid results. Don't trust him against the Jays, though. All right, both bullpens pitching well. The Jays bullpen better than the Red Sox. Jays bullpen 3 ERA, 1.01 whip, while the Red Sox bullpen 3.62 ERA, 1.22 whip. Let's start with the market history and then move over to where the cash is in this game. Waka and the Red Sox. Well, let's start with Jays open up -135. They got up to -150 at 9:55 in the morning, 5 cents a buyback, -145 right now. The total opened up at 9, and 2 hours ago it moved to 8.5. It's -120 to the over. And here, this is what I want to know. Cash. Only 4,085 tickets on this game for some reason. 37% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the Boston Red Sox. 53% of tickets, 76% cash on the over. Take it away, Ragoo. Red Sox, Jays.
So we get Stripling here, and even though Sox are struggling to score a few runs of late, I think this is a good spot. This is a spot now. Now I love Toronto. I love me some Toronto. By the way, you see the cap I'm wearing today? That's
good.
The same. I got one coming your way, brother. I got a fitted one for you. My big head, I got to put the smaller cap on to shrink it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I got you one. I got Gogi one. So shout out to Gogster. But anyways, so on the look of the game. So Stripling, I agree with the chat. You know, I don't think he can be trusted. I know in a short sample size, Boston's had some success hitting against him. And I hate to go against the Jays because they're just magic. You know, they come from behind. They play like the Mets. You know, it's a very similar setup for the Jays. They smash. They do it all. They're going to go a long friggin' way. But today, we're going to take pause on the Jays because of the Stripling factor. I think, and then Waka is pitching pretty damn good. And I think we're getting it's priced into the price, you know, with the number that they're getting here. But I didn't cap it for the full game. I capped it first 5. I didn't come up with the number for the first 5. I know on the money line, what'd you say it was? Is it -140 plus 120 full game?
A full game right now. It's around. Well, Bet365's at -145 for the Jays, but and plus 125. Yeah.
Okay. What they got on the first 5 for the Jays Red Sox?
I'll pull up Pinnacle because Pinnacle will give us better lines here. I imagine.
I want the dog. I want the dog in this game.
Yeah, I'm interested in the dog first 5 as well. And so first 5, Red Sox are plus 128.
That's the play. Red Sox plus the 128.
Yeah, I love fading Stripling here, but he's looked good at home thus far this year. Does he have another good start in him? These Red Sox have great numbers against them. Let's see if I can beat that quickly here at Circa, and then I will move on. No. Wow. Plus 111 at Circa. 17 cents different between two books is nuts. Matty Ice taint play today's Red Sox team total over. I agree with this look. So let's lock you in. Ragoo is on.
All the Vegas locals are going to circa betting the Red Sox today.
Yeah, that must
be
the
bigger bets, should I say? The bigger bets.
Millsy in the house. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. And news on the draft here from our Dan Kelly. I'll leave that up here for you guys to read, but a ton of cash coming in on Walker at this point for the draft. And Ryan Kozlowski has draft props as well. Let's keep rolling. Basketball coming up in 15 minutes. Next up, 7:20 p.m. Eastern, and we have Darryl Rice, a.k.a. Darryl, joining us in his run to try to hit 60% over the year, and he's not far away. Chicago Cubs 7-10, 3-4 on the road at the Atlanta Braves, 8-10, 5-6 at home. At Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia. Mark Leiter Jr. going up against Charlie Morton. Both pitchers have struggled out of the gate. Leiter's last start, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a homer, 3 Ks, 2 walks, and the 4-3 loss at home to the Pirates. And Morton's last start, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 homers, 4 Ks, 3 walks, and a 5-1 loss at the Dodgers. So Morton now with a 6.32 ERA, 1.53 WHIP. Cubbies, number 1 in the league offensively and versus righties, 284, 784 OPS. Braves versus righties is 223, 697 OPS. Cubs bullpen also being lights out, which is shocking. 2.47 ERA, 1.10 WHIP. Braves bullpen struggling out of the gate, 4.19 ERA, 1.20 WHIP. All right, let's take a quick look at the weather in Atlanta. We have 74 Fahrenheit first pitch and 3.5 miles per hour to right. Goes up to 8 by the end of the game and moves to straightaway center. When we look at the line history in this Leiter versus Morton start, we have no movement. Atlanta opened up at minus 200 at one point. They went to minus 210. They're back at minus 200. And then from a total perspective, opened up at 8.5, minus 120 to the under. There's been a move towards the over. And interestingly enough, it did go down to 8 at 8:40 this morning. It went down to 8, and it was there for an hour. For 45 minutes. And it's back to 8.5, and now it's juiced to the over, which would be telling us that money's coming in on the over, and we have 77% of tickets, 83% of cash on Morton at home, and that's not the case. 55% of tickets, 65% of cash on the under. Mixed messages from the market. Take it away here, Ragoo, Cubs, Braves.
Yeah, I was thinking over when I first looked at this, and I started looking at it. I said, no, not so much. And then I got to put a little pause on it because of the Braves bats are kind of a little weak right now. The Cubs, they're spotty by play, but they're not lighting up the scoreboard either. So, this is probably going to be a get-right game for one of these two squads. Am I interested in backing the Braves at the 2-1 number? Not particularly, because when I get behind a team with, I don't lay the big numbers like that. So I'm interested in the run line, and when they're not scoring runs, I'm not gonna be involved in it. So I don't trust either team in this spot. So it's a dead giveaway pass. I'm not interested in this game at all.
Yeah, I agree. And how much money was on the Braves? It was all Braves, and the market wasn't moving. 78% of the cash, 78% of tickets, 83% of the cash. Some good points from Sharpie, though, talking about. Oh, it's just going to be on here because it's. Sharpie was saying Morton's looked great, but ran into Dodgers, and the Cubs hit better by the numbers than the Dodgers. So this would be a much easier.
The Cubs hit better by the numbers than the Dodgers? Wow.
At this point. You would think this would be a much easier situation. It is not. I agree with staying off. I will do the same. Next up, 7:40 p.m. Eastern, Detroit Tigers at Minnesota Twins. Tigers 6-10, 2-2 on the road. Twins 9-8, 6-4 at home at Target Field, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Pineda versus Joe Ryan. Look, Joe Ryan's been great. And by the way, Jose, I did put $100 on Joe Ryan to win Rookie of the Year, 18-1. So I did follow that.
The Joe Ryan choo.
I did. I put a hundo on it. All right. Pineda looked great. Now, obviously, is feels like he's got unfinished business with the Yankees, and he stepped up against them. And it was an emotional opportunity, emotional start. A nice opportunity for him to show the Yankees what he can still do. Will that exist against the Twinkies? He's got some history there. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 Ks, no walks, 3-0 win at home over the Yankees. Joe Ryan looks excellent. 2-1, 1.69 ERA, 0.88 WHIP. Tigers versus righties, 216 average, 618 OPS. Twins versus righties, 215, 656 OPS. Both teams struggling against righties. Tigers bullpen's been very good this year. 2.22 ERA, 1.09 WHIP, and Twins bullpen has been struggling. 4.35 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. Let's start with the weather in Minnesota, 51 Fahrenheit at first pitch and 11.1 miles per hour in. It drops to 8.2. Let's go to the line history in this one. With the Twinkies, we have the Twinkies opening up at minus 170. There's been a 40-cent move towards them to minus 210. This total opened up at 7 juice to the over. It still is, but it's come back 5 cents. So just minus 115 to the over. And then when we look at where the cash lies in this spot, we have 40% of the tickets on the Tigers, but just 25% of the cash. So big bets have come in on Minnesota. Then 59% of the tickets, 56% cash on the over. Take it away here, Ragoo. Tigers, Twinkies.
Yeah, the market moves make a ton of sense to me in this particular spot. We got a very small sample size with Pineda, and then Ryan. Like you said, the Ryan Express. He's going to be firing all cylinders. And the Tigers' bats have been real spotty. Ever since Cabrera got his deal done, and they've lost like their last 3. So and Twinkies are on a 5-game winning streak. So I think they keep it going here. It's only a look now for me. It's not a play. I'm on the Twins. I'm leaning on the Twins with the run line minus 1.5 at a plus number.
Yeah, the 40-cent move is just too much. It's just too much for me to get in the way of. I'm surprised there's not more cash coming in on this under. I would expect it, especially with the weather the way it is, but I guess it's just so low at 7, and that 3.5 is so low. Curious, Jose, did you move? I know you love Joe Ryan. Have you moved on this game?
I have not. No, unfortunately, it's a little bit too juicy for me. I wanted to bet the Twins. I think Michael Pineda will get a little bit banged up today. My only look would be Ragoo's run line, but I only save that for occasions when I'm betting against the Pirates, I guess, because I got a nice easy cash here with the Brewers yesterday. So like I said, I don't bet them typically, but I would definitely, the only place I would go in this game would be run line. Maybe Sharpie can give us more insight on the K-props. I'm not a K-prop guy. That's his domain. But yeah, definitely wanted to bet on Joe Ryan in some way or form here, but I could not do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess the first 5 minus 1 would be a plus money. But with the weather the way it is and the expected low volatility, and then if there's Correa smashes Pineda, but the weather's just not. I get it. Fireside's on Tigers run line, though. So let's keep rolling. And I've got moves on the next 2 games. I bet unders. I have the first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120 in Astros Rangers. And I beat myself up for not backing Glenn Otto in his last start. And I'm not really rushing to fade Javier, but especially with the Rangers hitting 210, 568 OPS versus righties. But I expect Otto as a 26-year-old to show that he belongs in the league. We'll see if that comes to fruition here. Astros bullpen 3 ERA, 1.29 whip. Definitely have the advantage over the Rangers bullpen at 4.11 ERA, 1.33 whip. Astros aren't hitting righties. Either are the Rangers. Fat Win likes Otto to hit over 4.5 Ks at plus money. Sharpie also has that first 5 under 4.5. I love seeing that. And we're in Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. We expect the roof to be open here. Its first pitch is at 75 Fahrenheit. It's 11.2 miles per hour out. It does die down a little bit, down to 8.8 miles per hour. When we look at the line history in this one, we have the Rangers opening up at plus 115 and dropping down to plus 100. I love that. That's telling me that there's other people that believe in Otto, and as a 26-year-old, he's going to step up, and that makes me very, very happy. Jose's also on that first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120. And then let's see if the cash follows suit. It had previously to back the Rangers, but which I didn't do just because of Javier. But 21% of the tickets are on the Rangers, 47% of the cash, and we see the market moving towards them. And then here's the stat I love: 55% of tickets, 86% cash on the under. So let's go. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. Take it away here, Ragoo. We're talking Astros, Rangers.
Yeah, 2 real short sample sizes. With Otto last year, I guess he had 2 appearances versus this team with a 7.56 ERA for the 2 times that he faced the Stros, but it's not the same Stros, obviously. The only thing I could find on Javier was, with the short sample size, he's got 12 Ks with a 7.2 WHIP and 0 ERA. So I mean, I think both scenarios bode well towards the under, and that was my only look. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go against the Astros because the unknown with Javier, but then again, there's a little bit of back history with Otto there, but it's like I say, very small sample size. So I didn't get on either side, but I was leaning towards the first 5 under here.
The next game I moved on the first 5 under as well. I did buy it up to 4. It cost me minus 129. I did the same yesterday, and Trout, of course, hit a 2-out double in the bottom of the 5th, and I believe it cashed Ohtani, and so I pushed it. I'm doing the same here. Plesac versus Shohei Ohtani. Plesac's last start was really nice against the White Sox. 6 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, just 1 was earned, 3 Ks and 1 walk. He's 1-1 with a 1.53 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 10 Ks and 17 2/3. He's not a big strikeout guy, but he gets the job done. Shohei coming off a spectacular start, 6 innings, 1 hit, 12 Ks, 1 walk, and a 6-0 win at Houston. Both teams are hitting righties hard, which is a concern. 271, 761 OPS for the Guardians, and the Angels are 243, 776 OPS. It's cool weather in Anaheim tonight. Just 63 Fahrenheit opening pitch, goes down to 58, and the weather just 7.8 miles per hour out, drops to 7. When we look at the history for the line here, we have the Guardians opening up at plus 160. They're now plus 175. So that means there's a 30-cent move towards the Angels and Ohtani. It's the Ohtani tax is back, minus 180 up to minus 210. From a totals look, it's sitting at 7.5, minus 110 to the under. And then when we go to 5,712 tickets in, 27% of tickets, 30% cash on the Guardians, and 29% of tickets, 72% cash on the under. Take it away here, Ragoo, Guardians, Angels.
Yeah, Cleveland's a dangerous team. If Ohtani doesn't have his best effort, he can be in trouble early in this spot. I mean, his numbers, I know he had a spectacular last game, but if his numbers show, he's 1-2 with a 4.4 ERA. Plesac's got the better numbers in my book. But they're reeling a little bit, and you're going to always get a little bit. I think you're always going to get a little bit of overvalue built in with Ohtani just because of who he is and the market he's in. So this might be a sneaky play. I know that your insights didn't show the value on the Guardians, but coming off their losses and all things being equal, I was leaning towards the Guardians in this spot full game.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think TJ nailed it. He said that plus 184 on the Guardians at Bet Online starting to go too far. Have to consider that value. Says Angels pen can blow anything at plus 184. And, Plesac plus a half is even money at plus 100. And Sharpie says Plesac looked really good. Giants got 2 runs in 5 innings, have better hitting numbers than the Angels. I'd look at Cleveland first 5 plus a half, which is what I just spoke of. Yeah.
That look I like a lot, actually. But I don't know if I'm going to get to the window with it for show purposes. But if I do, I'll put it on Twitter for sure.
Yeah, I like it as well. And I don't know. I like it as well. Expecting low volatility. I like saying that a pitcher who's just been spectacular is not going to do that 2 games in a row. I like it. I find that extremely interesting. But I'm already on the first 5 under 4, and I don't know how much cash I want on this game. I'm starting to not like having a ton of money on the late games because I got to cap the card, and I also don't want.
I'm the same way. Most of my action leans earlier. I mean, most of my lean action is later, and my plays are early in the day.
But also the adrenaline takes over, and all of a sudden it's 12:30, and you're just like sitting there drinking and pumping your fist, and like you're not going to sleep till 2. And okay, let's move on to the final game on the card, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. And wow, Joe Yergin says looks like the Mets are going to bottom out as low as minus 108. Jesus. Athletics 9-9, 5-6 on the road at the Giants, 13-5 into a home at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Why don't we start with the weather here in San Francisco? Final game on the card here, 20 miles per hour out to center. It goes down to 18. So, the wind swirls. We don't need to, but it's clearly blowing out. 52 Fahrenheit in a pitcher's park. Blackburn going up against Sam Long. Sam Long's done very good in this situation. This will be his third start. Now it's a bullpen day, but in the 2 starts he's already had, he's gone 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 Ks, no walks, no earned runs. He's gone 5 2/3 so far this year. Paul Blackburn's last start was nice. It was 6-4 win at home versus the Orioles. He went 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 Ks, no walks. Has a 1.80 ERA, 0.80 WHIP. But he's another pitcher who likes pitching at home in the Oakland Coliseum. I'm sure he'll like pitching here as well. The A's aren't hitting lefties, but I don't know if we need to jump too deep into that because that's just the first couple innings max. Probably first inning that you'll see Sam Long out there. Giants are hitting 257, 35 OPS versus righties. Don Max says Blackburn being sneaky good too. Let's talk about the line history here. We have the Giants opening up minus 145 and now minus 170. So a 25-cent move towards them. From a total standpoint, it opened up at 7.5. An hour and a half ago, it moved to 7. Then about an hour after that, so just like 45 minutes ago, it's 10-cent move to the over 7. So it's minus 125 now to the over 7. And when we look at the cash in this game, we have 9% of the tickets on the A's, just 9%, but 24% of the cash. And then 54% of tickets on the over. We don't have a cash. We don't have the cash up there at this point. Take it away here, Ragoo. Last game on the card, A's, Giants.
I jumped back and forth. I had a hard time making a decision when I was looking at the pitching matchup with the small sample size against the current lineups. Just based on what San Fran's success has been on the road, taking care of business, that long East Coast trip that they put together, had some great success over there. Oakland is one of these teams that I kind of was they had a fire sale. My son said I was crazy. I told you that story already about backing them on the wins total. So
yeah,
I was put off by this. Not that I was put off by this game. That was a stay off game for me. I couldn't put nothing together. And it was a later game, and it was my later capping in the card. I didn't get a whole lot of time on this game. When I looked at the short sample size, I said, you know what, I'm just going to walk away from it and say, hey, I have no play.
Yeah, this isn't something I want action on. Again, these games will be broken down again at 3:10 p.m. on Sharpie's Prize Picks, as well as at 5:30 p.m. on Say Hey Plays. And Jacob Junis is expected to be the primary pitcher for San Francisco. Now, this might be the perfect park for him, but even the Royals pitching park wasn't perfect park. That makes me want to back the A's. Junis is a fucking bum. Wow.
That's a late breaking news there.
Yeah, that Junis is, I guess, God, that makes me want to fade the Giants here. I think Junis is just trash. But he's the primary. He's just, anybody could have had him for a cup of coffee this year. Wow. That makes me want to fade the Giants. Maybe I do now. Okay, let's break. That is the entire MLB card. We're moving on to NBA now, but let's review all action. Again, the Big Ragoo has given us 17 picks so far this season in MLB. His ROI is plus 7.12%. He's dealing with an average line of plus 102, 9 wins, 8 losses, 52.9%, plus 1.21 units. We have Ragoo opening his card with the Mets minus 112 for the New York Mets. Then he's on the under 7 in Kansas City, Chicago. I'm on that first 5 under 3.5. I'm also on the Mets minus 1, but the market's moving against us there, and I'm a little nervous. Then I want in on the D-backs first 5 under 4 and that first 5 plus a half. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. The Say Hey play is the first 5 under 4 at minus 108. And Ragoo, you had leans in this spot. Did you end up thinking about getting to the window in Dodgers Diamondbacks, or are you going to stay off?
I'm off.
Then Ragoo has the Pirates first 5 at plus 167, and I want in some form or another. I want in. By the way, Sharpie saying Oakland just not hitting. I watched Junis look like a Cy Young. Yeah, I'll have to take some more time, but there's an important point. And Ronnie saying Blackburn's been our best pitcher. So then Ragoo's on the Padres first 5 minus a half. At minus 108, and I believe Dabby Cab is with them on that spot. Mariners, Rays. I'm on the Rays minus 1. I got to believe plus 109 on the minus 1 line. Rockies, Phillies, we are staying off. These are TJ's looks. So TJ watched for 2 weeks. He started betting yesterday, and he went 3-0. He's on Baltimore, New York over 8 at minus 115. Kansas City first 5 plus a half at plus 115. New York Mets, St. Louis over 7 at minus 115. And Pittsburgh first 5 plus a half at plus 110. The second say hey play of the day is the Orioles at plus 220, and Ragoo is on the Orioles first 5 plus a half at plus 114. Ragoo's on the first 5 under 4 in Marlins Washington. He got that under 4 at minus 120. If I could get that price, I'd be on it as well. I can't at this point, so I'm not sure what to do, but I do have asterisks beside that. Look, Ragoo's on the Red Sox first 5 at plus 128. The taint play of the day is also the Red Sox team total over 3.5. I want in on this, so I didn't put asterisks there, but I have now. Okay. And Joe Yurkovich says A's to win in the second inning at plus 430 at FanDuel. Danzo says don't touch Oakland. They're a mess. Says I can't believe they've won as many games as they have. Cubs, Braves, we are staying off, as are we with the Tigers, Twinkies. The first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120 is a move that I'm on, that Sharpie's on, and that the Say Hey is on as well. That's not a play of the day here for the show. First 5 under 4 I'm on in Cleveland Angels, and I'm interested in the first 5 plus a half on the Guardians. And then no moves for us at this point in the A's Giants, but God, I think Junis is a bum. I want to fade him. There you go. There is our MLB card. Great job, Big Ragoo. I love capping with you, my guy, and I can't wait to hear your takes on the Kentucky Derby. And can't wait to spend next weekend hammering horses with you, my guy. Please follow our guy on Twitter at Big Ragoo 62. And glad that you had a very successful trip to Vegas, my man. And thank you for sharing all your hard work with us. We love you.
Oh, I love you guys too. Peace to the chat. Kill the bookies, guys. Kill the bookies. Smash them. Smash the fuck out of them.
There he is, the Big Ragoo in the house. We go from baseball to basketball, and your next guest is having quite a season. He's coming off another winning day on Friday. He went 2-1 plus 0.93 units. He lost on the Hawks first quarter, but cashed the Bucks first quarter, and also cashed the Suns -2. That was last Friday, April 22nd. He's now 85-63, hitting at 57.4% plus 17.75 units. His ROI on that big sample size is plus 11.99%. And his average line just -103. Please welcome to the show, direct from Los Angeles, California, Darryl Rice in the house. It's Darryl, baby. It's Darryl.
Yo, what is good? What is good, Jimmy? It's Wednesday, which means I'm back. I am back in action. Great day to be alive. Always got to say it because it's my mantra. Any day on this side of the grass is a damn good day. And Jay, we've seen some great ball, man. We've seen some great ball. So spoke with you a couple days ago and had some good news there. And so I'm doing a little rearranging for the next steps that I'm going to be working on here. So I'm using my MacBook camera. So if I sound like Steve Urkel today, I do apologize for that.
You sound great. We did once have the clip of Urkel dunking. I think we ditched it. Did we ditch Urkel?
Dunking.
Yeah.
I don't remember Steve Urkel dunking, to be honest.
We had Urkel dunking here.
Really?
Yeah, we had Urkel
Was
dunking.
Urkel or Stefan Urkel?
No, it was Urkel dunking. It's long gone though. Sadly, it's gone. Looking through these, we still have some great stuff here. We have this. If anybody's interested, this is after Jose Bouquet cashed the 10-1. We did have Urkel dunking. It was one of my favorite little things here, but you can only have so many here in the background, and so we've ditched it. All right. Yes, and I cashed plus 275 on the Raptors money line. Game 5 very confidently, and I lost yesterday though. So lost yesterday on the Grizzlies first quarter -2, -110. That's the second straight Grizzlies first quarter that I've lost, but still, and that was my high watermark last year. I'm not in anywhere close to the Darryl category, but Darryl was here on the show when I was down 23 units, so he does have respect for the comeback that I've done this year. 149, 134, 52.7% for me, plus 4.68 units.
Nice.
ROI plus 1.65%, average line -109. Let's get to work, my man, because we have two fascinating spots here. Speaking of which, also tomorrow, I made these bets yesterday, or 2 days ago, as soon as I could, as soon as they were available. I moved on the Raptors. There's been no change in the market. I'm on plus 105 there. And I moved on the Mavs at plus 100.
You got to.
Yeah, I got plus 100. That was minus 140 this
Mhm.
morning. It's now minus 130, interestingly enough. So there has been a 10-cent of buyback towards the Jazz. That is tomorrow. And before we break down today's games, one more shout out to Rez Mob, who I had the pleasure of hanging out with. What a guy, quality guy, great capper, and thankful to have him in the fam. And his breakdown was it's alpha time, Suns first quarter, Suns first half, Suns full game. And shout out to the spectacular work from Rez Mob. Brothers and bets in out. There's Rez Mob right there. Very, very impressive. Okay. Dennis Garcia says, I'm in a terrible mood. He's got the he's got the Timberwolves plus 300 for the series. And that was a tough game.
We talked about this though. I mean, it was going to go a lot of games. It wasn't going to be a sweep, man. But come on, that's Memphis, and Memphis is deep, and Minnesota makes mistakes. They do. Now, this is a tough series for them because they're kind of the same team. Memphis is a little better, a lot better, I should say.
Whoa, well, I'm sure Dennis is typing something as we speak. Let's get to work at 7:30 p.m. East first round game.
Hold on.
Oh, sure.
I do have to eat crow though, Jimmy. I do have to eat crow. When I'm wrong, I'm gonna say I'm wrong. So shout out to Nasty Nate for calling the Boston Celtics. He did say that, right? And when I mentioned that the Nets could take this, right? Nate himself was like, yo, you're on crack. You are smoking crack. So I was wrong there in that series. Shout out to Nate for calling that series, man. I have to tell when I'm wrong on that. Boston, after the third game, I was like, wait a minute, this is definitely a sweep. But even after that game where they came back, I believe it was the first game, it was like, nah, no way. So shout out to Nate. He called that game. He called that series. Not only did he call the series, but he said I was smoking crack, which I wasn't, but I might as well have been calling them damn Nets like I did.
Well, you're a good man. That's the one thing that separates our show is the, accountability and honesty and transparency. And it's a part of what we do. Look, you had that series wrong, but your record is very right. And that's, also, if there's a situation where you lose but Nasty Nate wins, at least one of the fam is getting cash.
Somebody's getting paid, right? That's
paid.
My thing. As long as you get paid, yeah.
And you didn't have the pleasure of hanging with Nate like we did in San Antonio. He's money in the bank, like just such a great dude. I can't wait till the next time I get a chance to hang with Nate. His whole gambling trip changed. I know I've talked about it already, but as gamblers, it's so fun. He picked up a quick $100 playing cornhole. Everything changed.
Oh, shut up.
He picks up 1,000 plus at the poker game. He cashes a whole bunch of bets in a row in sports. Like everything changed when he started when he became cornhole champion.
Darryl, I'm going to shock you right here too, Darryl.
Yeah.
Something that everyone was surprised with. Nasty Nate confirmed white too. Who would have thought? None of us thought. We were all like, Nasty Nate? What?
Nasty Nate's a white brother?
Yeah. That's what I said.
I would have never known, bro. I would have never known.
Nasty Nate.
Okay. Hey, man, to all my white brothers, to all my black brothers, my brown, all my brothers of color, man, I just appreciate y'all, all of y'all. So this is a very diverse family, man. Everybody can get it. The bookies can get it, Jimmy. Every motherfucking bookie can get it. Black, white, red, green, yellow, orange. I don't give a fuck. We all here as a family. So yeah, let's talk about this game, man. I'm just telling you ready for this? You ready for this? So I'll let you spread it. I'll let you kind of set the table, man. But you ready for this type shit? Yeah. But I'll talk about it.
I'm ready. I'm ready. But beautifully put, we all are a fam and brothers, regardless of what any of us look like. It's all about capping together and loving the opportunity to get cash together. And so it was beautifully put there, my guy. All right, let's get to work. Game 5 Chicago Bulls 46-36, 19-22 on the road against the Milwaukee Bucks, 51-31, 27-14 at home in Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It wasn't just that the Bucks destroyed the Bulls in 2 games in Chicago in dominating fashion, 54 points over the 2 games. It was that Zach LaVine has now entered NBA's health and safety protocol, and Caruso may not be available. He's in
out.
concussion protocol. He's out.
He's out. Yeah, he's out.
So you get that kick in the throat.
Yeah.
You get destroyed, and then you lose 2 guards, and tough. Very, very, very tough. Antetokounmpo, 32-17. Grayson Allen, the most hated man in Chicago,
killing it right now.
10 of 12 for 27 points. And my Top Shot collection becoming more valuable by the minute. Drew 26 points. So no Middleton, no problem.
No problem. No problem. No, don't say problem. No problem. No problem. That's how you take the B out of there. No problem at all.
No problem.
Take that B out of there, Jimmy. No problem.
Done. I'm good. Don't worry. I've got that locked. 11 of his last 14 threes have cashed for Grayson Allen. LaVine went for 24 and 13 assists and 5 rebounds, and now he's gone. DeRozan went for 23. He's going to have to go for 100. Vooch went for 11 and 10. 11 points. It's not going to cut it.
No.
Desambu, we're going to get to see Ayo. We're going to see Kobe White. A big opportunity for both of them. They've had little opportunity so far in this series. Chicago, 38.9% from the field and 25% from 3 in game 4. It's atrocious.
Yeah.
They shot under 27% from 3 in 3 of the 4 games.
Yeah.
So let's just take a quick look at the market movement, and then we will hand it over and the line history and where the cash is. So the Bucks open up as 10-point favorites. They're now 12.5-point favorites. And when we look, and the total here, they're playing at a pace just a little above 100 possessions a game. Opened up at 218.5. The initial move was to the over at 219.5. It's going back to the under. It's now at 217.5. And when we look at the cash flow in this spot, we have 24,147 tickets in. 41% of the tickets are on the Bulls, but just 12% of the cash. So the big bet is coming in on the Bucks. 65% of tickets, 82% cash on the under. Take it away, Darryl. The floor is yours. Game 5 of the East first round.
Yeah. So this is what I like. I think there's multiple looks on this game, and you won't very often see me make multiple looks, but I am here. First off, if you look at what the books are telling you, this game is going to get out of control for Chicago early, right? It's at minus 12, 12.5 in some spots. The first half look on this is Milwaukee minus 7.5. The total points scored on this is Bulls. The total first half point scored on this. Bulls first half at 49 points and Milwaukee first half at 56.5 points, which gives you that 56. If you look at the over and under on the Bulls team total for the first half, the under is juiced to minus 130, right? Which means you're going to have to pay some money to bet that under versus. Tell me that's me. Oh, okay, just making sure. So if we're looking at this game and that total is juiced to the under, then that's telling me that Chicago isn't going to get to that 49 points. If it's even on the Milwaukee side, then that's telling me Milwaukee will easily hit the 56.5. So what I do like in this game, really, and if you look at it, Milwaukee, what's killing the Bulls right now is Milwaukee's defense. They're smacking them defensively. So if you're going to look at this game, there's 2 ways you can look at it. You ready for this? Give me Milwaukee first half minus I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. And give me...
You ready for this?
Give me Milwaukee team total over 59.5 points or 56.5 points. I don't give a fucking shit what that point total is. You ready for this? Here's my analysis. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit. So yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fucking shit. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. Now I gotta bounce back, right? Because Atlanta, they really got me. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. But I'm telling you right now, what the books are saying is that Chicago isn't going to come close to that 49 points in the first half. They haven't. They're averaging around 41, 42 points. And the reason why, if you look at team rankings in their last three, that shows they're at 48.5 is because of the game that they had won. It's the game that they had won in Chicago. But other than that, Chicago is not going to come close to that 49 points. They stink up the first quarter in some ways, and they stink up that second quarter where they can't even get to 20 points because that's when everybody's warmed up. That's when that defense has come alive, and that's when Milwaukee goes on these runs. So this could easily be a trifecta. I believe I lost the value. I should have stepped on Milwaukee when they were -10. And I'm just telling you now, I believe it's one of these things where Milwaukee will come in the first half, and this game is easily 60-39 again. 62-39 or something like that, to where Bulls just don't have the scoring, and now they don't have the defense.
Wow. I love it. Absolutely love the breakdown. Let's see what we can get you here. First off, we'll start with the first half. We'll compare it to a couple different books. Here we have the Bucks first half -7.5 and -107. Let's see if we can beat that at circa. And they have I bet you they will beat this. They have the first half -7.
I love AO's number there, 73-45. That's about ideal.
Interesting.
That's how that would go.
Let's lock that in. So would you prefer the -7.5 at -107 or the -7 at -114?
No, give me the 7.5. I could take the 7.5. This is a closeout game for them at Milwaukee. Yeah, come on.
All right, we have it locked in. Darryl's first half is Bucks -7.5 at -107, and the first half team total over here for the under. Excuse me, first half team total under. They put it up to 49. At -119.
No. If I got that wrong, I'm taking Milwaukee Bucks team total over the 56.5.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was thinking the Bulls under. My bad.
No. Only because it's juice.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
No,
I think you could get 49, but I saw that -130. So if this is going to turn into a back and forth or full court game for whatever reason, then that just gives more opportunity for the Bucks to score. But the under is juiced on the Chicago Bulls team total. So if I said that wrong, the play that I have that I've already made is the Milwaukee Bucks team total over 56.5.
Interestingly enough, it's heavily juiced at Pinnacle, -119 at under 49, but it's not at Circa. At Circa, it's a pick 'em. It's -109 for the under 49.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. I would want to.
And the over 56.5 at Circa is juiced to the under. So now at Pinnacle, you're right. And Pinnacle's the book. Pinnacle's juiced. Oh no, Pinnacle, they moved it to 56. That's the difference.
Okay, so they took off the hook.
Yeah.
So that's why. Yeah.
So let's talk about your preferences here. Do you want Milwaukee over 56 at -114 or Milwaukee over 56.5 at -105?
56.5 at 105.
Over 56.5. That's available right now at Circa. 56.5 at -105. Okay, beautiful.
I'm going to step on them both, Jimmy. What do you have for 49?
-109.
Yeah, there's no way. Even their last three average. Give me that also. I'm taking a risk today. I am going to go ahead and play this as well.
Bulls first half.
I'm just going to take the juice on this.
Sorry, that's the problem there. Okay.
This is risky. I usually won't play this many plays in on one game, but the flow of this game is going to.
So, do you think that Billy Friedrich says we need Joel needs to play his rendition of "Candle in the Wind," but with Chicago Bull lyrics?
Oh, you see the complete keyboard here? Okay.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful, Billy. So beautiful. And Dan Kelly says playoffs you're taking under whenever you like it. Now, let me ask you this: with your action, you believe that the Bulls will be hurt in the first half a little more than they will in the full game, and is that because the Bucks are going to be locked in and want to knock them out right away? That angle of the Bucks wanting to knock them out right off the top is bigger than the deficiencies of the Bulls bench without Levine and Caruso?
I just the way, yeah. I mean, what I see happening is this: the Bucks come out like they always do, right? We know how the Bucks do first quarter, first half. Even for the season, they've shown that. But once you get into that, that middle of the third quarter, teams know. They really do. They know. And so if you come out on fire and if you do your work in the first half, you don't have to go as hard in the second half at all. I mean, that's just obvious. And so when you're talking about a closeout game here, you're talking about a game to where by the middle of the third quarter, you've seen the adjustments, you've seen the schemes. I mean, they know them already anyways. They played each other like 8 times. I say 8 times they've played for the season. So it's one of those things to where you can let off the gas if needed. You don't know who's going to be in foul trouble, right? There could be some players in foul trouble. And then the game just kind of, if anything, just starts to even out. So I missed the value in the Milwaukee -10. That was jumped up to -12. And then the news gets out. That might even move up another hook, right? But by the time tip-off comes. So it's one of those things to where, can the Bulls show some type of fight? Maybe, and have a backdoor cover. But as far as this game getting out of hand for the Bucks in the first half, I don't think so. I think the Bucks come out on fire. I do. I really do. And so I would bet on the Bucks having a better display and playing a game the right way in the first half than I would them the full game. And I could almost literally count on the Bulls, stinking it up in the first half versus trying to make a comeback in the second half, as they have shown that as well. So I like the Bucks first half to really play a good, solid basketball game. And I like the Bulls to really stink it up in the first half, as they always do against the Bucks.
You are locked in. You are locked in. Triple up time for Darryl.
Yeah.
Bucks first half -7.5. Bucks, and that's -107. Bucks first half team total over 56.5 at -105. And Bulls first half team total under 49 at -109. Darryl is locked in. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. West first round, game 5.
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets, 48-34, 25-16 on the road at the Golden State Warriors, 53-29, 31-10 at home. Golden State up 3-1 in the series, and it's been played at a pace of 97.25 possessions a game. We'll start with the line history. Opens up at 8.5 at a pick'em. The first move is towards the Warriors. They go to -9. This is at 3 a.m. on the 25th. So this is 3 a.m. Monday, move to 9. And then this morning at 9:55, we saw a full point move to the Denver Nuggets. That has come back a half point. So it's now exactly where it opened.
Right.
And by the way, that 8. So when the Warriors were -8, that only lasted for 18 minutes. In 18 minutes, they moved to 8.5. That's where it stands right now, 8.5 at a pick'em. Let's go to the total in this spot. Opens up at 226 and -110. The first move was towards the under, but that didn't last long. That lasted 2 hours before it went up a full point to 226.5. Long and short of it all is that it moved this morning at 8:58 to 225 and back up to 225.5 9 minutes later. So it's sitting at 225.5. It's a half point under what it opened at. And this is all up at 365. 21,348 tickets in. 59% of the tickets, 76% of the cash is on the Golden State Warriors. From a total standpoint, 62% of the tickets, 63% of the cash is on the over, yet we're down a half point from the opener. Rance says if Golden State plays defense and it stays under, defense covers over tricky game. Piker says strongest under of the night. LJ from H-Town is the Warriors -9. Astute Chaos leaning heavy to the first half under 116. And Piker says the under 225.5 is the strongest play on his card. Says this will be a battle. Denver avoided the sweep, 126-121 home win on Sunday. Jokovic, 37 points. But it was Monte Morris. Monte Morris is taking a lot of heat for not being able to play at the level of the guard play from the Warriors. And he puts up 24 points, goes 5 for 7 from 3. He had averages 10.7 over the first 3 games of the series. We're thinking that Steph Curry starts. He's been coming off the bench, and he played 37 minutes in Game 4, 33 points, 8 assists, 4 steals. And Poole had a rough game, 11 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Aaron Gordon was all over him. Take it away, Darryl. West first round, Game 5, Nuggets Warriors.
This should actually be my I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is play also. Do you know what a sneaky bet is on this game? Denver first quarter. You take them while you got a little bit of points here. The most Golden State is beaten by in the series is 2 points, right? Even the games that Denver loses, they win that first quarter by a point or 2. They average more points for the season than Golden State, and they've averaged more points in the first quarter for the season in Golden State as well. So looking at right now in their last 3, Denver is at 28. Golden State is at 26.5. Last game, Denver put up 26. Golden State put up 21. And for the season, Denver's at almost 30 points, sitting right under Milwaukee and right over, surprisingly, San Antonio and Phoenix. So it's one of those things that I say surprisingly because we know how good San Antonio's been at covering spreads in the first quarter. The look here is Denver first quarter. And the reason why I say that is because I'm getting a little bit of points, right? It's +3. You're implementing Steph Curry back in the starting lineup, I believe, right? So it's going to be more than you got the system play going, but you don't have that youth and that in Jordan Poole who kind of likes to speed up the pace, if you will. I believe this is a game to where Denver is going to try to show that fight early, right? They're going to probably come out first quarter banging because they just, as it works, they average more points in the first quarter, whether it's home or away. And so in my opinion, just looking, 28.8 points away, Golden State gives you 28.7 points at home. So they're Golden State and Denver's averaging more points away than Golden State is averaging at home. And so there it shows me that even if Golden State wins, it's not going to be by the 3. And the likelihood of Denver winning that first quarter is more than likely than Golden State winning. So give me Denver +3 first quarter. I believe that is the best play and what I look at. Now, the unders and things of that nature, I'm not good at totals, but I wouldn't knock anybody on the under on this game as well. But I do believe a powerful play is to take the dog first quarter. They are going to show fight. Wouldn't be surprised if they won this first quarter, but we always know, and what Golden State has been, they kind of slid off for a little bit, was that third quarter blitzing team, right? Where they come back in the third quarter. And so a lot of people, what they started to do with Golden State, especially when the lines were larger, they would start to live bet Golden State, right? To get a better line because that action will come back down a little bit, right? And these guys would have probably a shorter line because they're either close at the half or even down at the half, and they come back on this third quarter blitz. So if you don't like this line the way it is now, I do believe Golden State is going to get this done. This is a closeout game. They don't want to go back to the elevation. I don't think so, right? So it's just one of those things to me to where I feel that Golden State themselves will play really well in the second half as they always do, and Denver's going to really, really fight in the first quarter. So give me Denver +3 first quarter.
Well, we can get you +3.5, and it's pretty cheap. The +3.5 is -113.
I'll take it because it's under my limit of -115. So I'll take it.
That's a great find, but it's -112, says Billy. Thank you. That's a great find. That's a great find. At Pinnacle right now, if you want it there, they have three.
I got it at I got the 3 at -110, but I'll take that. I'll take the 3.5 to stop a push here.
Yeah, I would as well. I like that. That's cheap at -112. I'd be curious to see here quickly what is being held by Circa. Let's just hit this. By the way, Circa's total, and this is fresh, is 227 on this game.
Jesus, did that just come in? I'm getting 225s.
Yeah, that's what I see 225.5. I mean, that's shocking. It's just shocking. Let me just see here. Yeah, I've got 225.5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a refreshed total here at Circa. I just want to see what they're going to offer first quarter for. Oh, sorry.
Shout out to Topo Chico, man. If y'all haven't tried this, if you like sweet seltzers, man, this one's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet seltzer.
We just say, hey, Darryl, I'm over here working. You're over here throwing curveballs.
I'm a very busy man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not getting the first quarter for some reason. I don't know why they're not offering it here. Oh, here we go. First quarter on the spread. Yeah, it's 3 as well there. So that 3.5 is a beautiful line. Thank you for finding it. But wow, Dan Kelly's seeing 224.5.
Yeah. See,
wow.
So whoever was talking about the under on this game, yeah, you could see it. You could see it happening. But I mean, I'm afraid if it's an under game, right? Because in order to beat Golden State, you got to get past the century mark, and you got to get past there convincingly, especially moving into the fourth quarter. But if you're talking about it being an under game, then it's just me thinking it out. That kind of moves into Denver's favor of at least backdoor cover. You don't want to keep it slow. So if we're liking the under game, then I'm legit going to be confident in that Denver first quarter.
Yeah, I think both of these breakdowns are strong and make sense here. I mean, at this point, every game has gone over in this series. So it's a perfect situation to not expect that to continue, especially in a closeout game where it's so important.
And this is the highest one from the closing line on that total, right? It's been 223.5, 223.5, 222.5, 223, right? And now we're getting 227s, 225s.
With everything on the line. I like this. I like both of your looks. Nutflush says if you like the underweight, it's being steamed, it looks like, though, Mike. It looks like the under's being – it looks like they're offering up the books are making this over very appealing. It's 226 still at Pinnacle. Wow.
That's weird.
I'm confused now.
Maybe some money came in. I'm not sure.
This is very, very, very interesting. So, okay. So let's lock in Darryl. He's on the first quarter plus 3.5 at -112. I'm going to need time to sit with both these breakdowns. I love both of your breakdowns. And it's Seamus Ignoramus, a.k.a. Piker, who loves the under 225.5, says it's his best bet on the card. So the move from Steph Curry to the starting to start here is what we expect. You don't think that will affect the Nuggets' ability to take that first quarter?
No, I'm just looking at the chemistry. I mean, Curry's been starting for them, all season for the most part when he's not injured. And I just think with Jordan Poole starting, you were just kind of trying to see a guy get off, really. And he did, right? I mean, he played himself into probably a really good deal this offseason. But now you get more of a system play. You get your lineup that knows how to play together. They've been playing together. And you just now compare what both lineups have done all season. And it just seems like Denver is the better first half scoring team. And even with Jordan Poole in that lineup, I don't think it affects. Well, I can't say that. That would be talking both sides out of my mouth. I'll just put it like this. I believe Denver has a better chance of showing fight with knowing how that scouting report is going to go now that you know how to play Steph Curry, now that you know how to play Clay, now that you know what you're going to get out of Dre, right? So these guys are more of a veteran group here, if you will. They're going to settle down and just play, run their actions. And then when you get Jordan Poole, and he's the young pup, man. He's just playing balls to the wall. He's going to get his points. So you're kind of going off course, if you will, a little bit. But even with him playing, trying to play a little more freely, if you will, I believe that for Denver to still kind of keep it close and in most cases win that first quarter. I mean, look at what they're doing in the first quarter. They're winning the first quarter, if not losing, they're only losing by 2 points. So they're winning first quarters, but still losing the whole entire game.
I love the breakdown, and if the Nuggets cover the 3.5, don't you believe that we'll be under 58 points in the first quarter?
No. Under 58 for Denver?
Under 58 points in the first quarter between Denver and Golden State, total.
I was looking at that.
I mean, with all this pressure, there's not a ton of pressure. I don't mean the pressure on the Warriors, but the pressure for them to succeed here right off the hop and to take care of this Nuggets team. I mean, if the Nuggets cover the first quarter, I mean, I just feel like they're not going to be 58 points total. And notice that it's 58 for the first quarter, 116 for the first half. I mean, this is a spot where they're expecting a much slower second half than first half.
The likelihood of them going under 58 is really good, right? The game, and that's the funny thing. If it's a high-scoring game, it works into the favor of Golden State. The game in which the first quarter that they did lose, that point total was 36 to 34. So you're talking about 70 points in the first quarter. 70 points. Everything else has been under 55, 56. But the game that they won, even the game that they just won, they put up 47 points in the first quarter. 47. The game that they lost to Golden State, it's not 67. It was 66 points, right? So they've only won over that 58 one time. The game that Golden State blew them out 126 to 106. First quarter, 51 points. So the under 58 sounds good.
It does.
The under 58 sounds really good. It seems like a steal. The game that they got blown out again, 123 to 107. Denver, 27 points. Golden State, 26. That's combined to 53 points. That 58 sounds damn good.
It does. And I'm going to move on.
What's the line on that?
Well, that's just being offered in my book at -110. Let's see what Pinnacle is offering it at here, because I imagine they would probably give us something better. They've got it at 58, under 58 at -103, just to the over.
I've got a lot of plays on. I mean, 4 plays to me on 2 games. And let me see that game the very first game. I mean, they get blown out. Yeah, 53, 51, 50. How the fuck do you get 58 out of this game?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to think on that. I might just tweet out that one there. That looks like a good look too. I mean, on average, even if you get 28, that's still 56 points, right? And they're averaging under their team totals for the first quarter. So, yeah, that looks really, 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 really good right now.
Yeah, I feel like I have to pump the brakes a little bit just because it looks so good. In that game 1, there was 53 points scored in the first quarter, game 1 in San Francisco. And then in game 2, there was 51 points scored in the first quarter. I mean, the books aren't dumb.
They're not. They're not. That seems like a gimme, though. But if you recall, do you remember they were kind of doing this for the Memphis Minnesotas on these first quarters, right? Where they were going like under 59 points. And these guys were averaging over 30 points in the first quarter, both teams, right? So taking that over first quarter was just like a gimme. And what was happening? They were hitting. And this has been in this series. So 59 points under first quarter, and it's not juiced.
It's 58. 58.
I mean, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Then I would be more happy if that number is what it's saying. Then I would be more happy with the Denver first quarter, with them actually coming out winning. What is the money line on that first quarter for them?
Let's find out. Denver money line plus 164.
Yeah, okay, that's about right. See, that's not bad either. Yeah, I feel better with the Denver plus 3.5 first quarter.
It's actually plus 170 at Bet365, a little better than Pinnacle in that regard. Wow, that was a fascinating breakdown. Gave me a lot of food for thought. I'd like to move on this. My action's already in for tomorrow, but we do have the Suns Pelicans that we will be discussing. But great stuff from our guy Darryl Rice. Let's review his NBA action. Bucks first half minus 7.5, minus 107. Bucks first half team total over 56.5 and minus 105. And Bucks first half team total under 49 and minus 109. His fourth look is in the second game. Nuggets first quarter plus 3.5 and minus 112. Dennis, thinking about the Nuggets team total under for the game. Why don't we do quick line shopping here? The team total at Pinnacle is 108.5.
Yeah.
Juice to the under, 108.5 juice to the under. At Bet365, it is 108.5 at a pick'em. So, 108.5 is that team total under. And Mets are up 2-1. There we go. Of course, Matt's getting touched. I love it. I love it. Darryl, my man, the grind for 60% is still alive.
Yeah, man. I was there for just a quick second, just like that Golden State line. I was there right at 9 and then got back to 8.5. So, I was there for a quick second, man. And, I'm trying to get back there. If I can close out this entire season from start to finish at 61%, man, I'll be happy.
It's be spectacular. It has not been done yet on this show in 5 years. It has never been done. So, you're at 57.4%, and you have 4 bets today, and you'll be back in action with us on Friday. We absolutely love capping with you. Rand says that first quarter under tempting. Denver comes out shooting cold. I mean, even if we think that, is it possible that Steph is in the starting lineup and that rhythm and chemistry is just a little bit off? I mean, they haven't been good in first quarters anyway. So is it possible that it could go nowhere but up?
Yeah, see, there was a video that I'd seen on the Twitter sphere, and it was showing one play where Clay was just exasperated with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole had missed an assignment, and I think Clay had came off a high screen, and Jordan was supposed to kick it out to him, and instead he dribbled around, and Clay just kind of threw his hands up. Right? It was like a quick little 10-second video. And then you had to see the rest of the video to where Jordan Poole did get Clay involved. What I do believe is that the difference between Jordan Poole and Steph is obviously Jordan Poole is going to miss some of those first look assignments, right? And then he'll get, I should have got it off. If that was Steph would have known to kick it out to Clay. Right off that high screen. Clay doesn't even dribble the ball. He just comes and shoots it, catch and shoot, if you will. So, but what you have in Steph Curry are those looks that were probably missed by Jordan Poole, not happen with Steph because of the chemistry that Steph, Draymond, and Clay has. Also, the chemistry between Draymond and Steph is unheard of. It's like they know where they're going to be. And so those are other looks to where Jordan Poole might not be in a position that Steph would be, that Dre would kind of come back and understand, well, Steph is going to come on this zip cut, or there's going to be a UCLA cut, something like that. The cuts and the screens matter when you have Steph in versus when you have Clay or Jordan Poole in. So I say all that to say that if anything, they don't come out cold. They just come out playing their regular game. It's going to be a more system approach, if you will, than, more system, less improvisation. And that's something that you have to have with Jordan Poole. Says Jordan's going to get his assignments, right? But there's going to be a little more improvisation than systematic. So if that makes sense, I believe if you got Steph in there, it just could possibly be a slower game, even though you have scoring with, Steph on the court. I just believe it's a little more systematic approach, a little more technical approach, if you will, when you got those 3 in a game. Also, remember, a guy who had a good game last game, who might try to carry on that fire, if you will, is Monte Morris, right? Monte had a great game. I think what was his threes last game? Like, he went off, right? He went off. So, just come to think of it, if you're a prop player, you might want to look at Monte Morris's threes. If it's, anything at 2.5, I would jump on that. I really would.
5 of 7.
Yeah, 5 of 7. He went off, man. It's like he could not be stopped last game. So I don't know if you kind of carry on that torch, if you will. But I tell you right now, if he's like, at Monte Morris 2.5 threes, man, I would jump on that, because he is going to shoot.
I love it, Darryl. Thank you so much for your hard work and insights. We look forward to rocking with you again on Friday. Follow our man on Twitter at It's Darryl in the house, grinding for that 60%.
I'm trying, bro.
Respect, my man. I love it. And I'm going to make some moves here too on this. So
yeah,
thank you for your hard work and insights, my man. And any last words for the Capper Sporting Show?
I just saw Nut Flush, man. This dude will not let me live until the NBA season is over. I swear to God, man, he will not let me live. But I did tweet out weeks ago, right, before Vogel was fired. It was like 10, 12 days before Vogel was fired, that Vogel's going to get fired. Philly is going to be bounced in the first round. Doc is going to be looking for a head coaching job. Lakers are going to pick up Doc. And then this whole shitstorm starts all over for me again next year. So right now, everything kind of looks on pace. We're going to look at that Toronto game. Toronto could end this series in 7, possibly, right? And then what do? Doc Rivers, notorious for losing these 3-game leads, just runs it. He's going to get fired, going to come back to LA. LA will pick him up probably on a little discount because of his season that he lost with James Harden. So Nutflush, you got me to talk about the Lakers. I hate you. But other than that, I love all y'all, for the exception of Nutflush. Y'all be easy, man. I will see you on Friday.
Much love, my guy. There he is. It's Darryl. Let's review all action. We've gone over NBA. In NHL, I've only moved on. First off, Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today. Winnipeg -1. He's on the Mets, about to catch that, and Golden State first half. That's Ron Crawford. I moved on Vegas -1.5 plus 125, and I got the over 6 at -105. And I only bet that about 7:30 in the morning. And by showtime, it was already 6.5 -125 to the over. We have on our guy Gogster. He made 2 moves and he tweeted them out. Gogster is on he's on a 2-team parlay, a money line parlay. That's the Jets and the Kings at plus 136. And he's on Dallas first period -0.5 at -113. -113. By the way, our guy SM looking at Alexis Lafreniere over at 1.5 shots. And that makes a ton of sense with Panarin, Kopp, and Strome out. And also, he's playing really good hockey right now. Finally, Alexis Lafreniere showing why he was number 1 overall pick and why the Rangers are going to be bet on next year. Futures should probably be bet on the Rangers for next year as soon as they come out. That's NHL. In MLB, I'm on the Mets. Big Ragoo's on the Mets, and we're in business there. The team total over 3.5. I've asterisks around, but didn't get to it before the game popped off. I'm on the first 5 under 3.5 in this Royals White Sox game. First 5 3.5 -105. Ragoo's on the under 7 -116. This game pops off in 6 minutes. Then I've got to make some decisions about the D-backs here at 3:40 p.m. and I will be making those decisions because I'm interested in them first 5 plus a half and the first 5 under 4 and backing Zach Gallen. So I've got to make decisions around there. The Say Hey play today is the first 5 under 4. He's got 2 here on the card for us. Then we have the Pirates first 5 at plus 167 for Ragoo. I'm interested in that, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to move on it. And Lamont Williams 8-1 yesterday. I love it, Lamont. No surprise to us. You're a monster. So then Padres first 5, -0.5 at -108 for the Big Ragoo. Mariners, Rays. I'm on the Rays -1 at +109. No action for us in Rockies. Phillies. Our man TJ is on the Orioles, Yankees over 8. The Mets, Cardinals over 7 at -115. That's looking gorgeous. KC first 5 +0.5 at +115, and Pittsburgh first 5 +0.5 at +110. I like those looks. Big Show says Jimmy growing the beard out for hockey. No, just solely focused on capping and family. Say hey, second play of the day is the Orioles +220. Ragoo's on the O's, first 5 +0.5 at +114. Those are fascinating looks. Let's copy and paste LJ from H-Town. He's got his 3-leg parlay bets. Copy and paste that right now. And LJ, let's get in touch, man. We want more of you on this channel, so let's get in touch, my guy. Copy and paste that. Then Ragoo's on the first 5 under 4 in Marlins Nats. It's just too expensive at my book. Sharpie got it the same thing at -120. Red Sox first 5 at +128 is a Ragoo look. Taint play of the day is Boston Red Sox team total over 3.5. I want in on this Red Sox first 5, so I'm going to figure out that. Cubs, Braves, we are off. Tigers, Twins, we are off. I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 -120 in Houston, Texas. So's Sharpie and so's Jose. Then I'm on the first 5 under 4 at -129 in Cleveland, Guardians, Angels, and I'm looking at that first 5 +0.5 with Plesac very closely, and I may move on it. And then if Jacob Junis is the guy for San Francisco today, why wouldn't I fade him? If he's the primary pitcher, why would I not bet against him if I do not believe in the guy? The problem is the A's offense. But I'm very interested in moving on. What do you think about that spot?
I'll play devil's advocate with you. Is that now we know, obviously, the Giants are a factory for taking your beleaguered, your broken pitchers and turning them into something better. So I would just caution you because that's what the Giants are good for. And I don't have his numbers in front of me, but I'll double check now. I feel like he made an appearance already and hasn't.
He did.
He hasn't pitched poorly yet.
Good. Yeah, no, it was good, but I mean, do you have faith in him moving forward?
I would not place my money on him. I don't want to put your money on him, obviously. But my just main concern would be the Giants having this just talent of being able to turn your shitty pitchers into something. And they've obviously seen something in Jacob Junis. I don't know what that something is. I could pull up his baseball savant and see if his spin rates are super high or something like that. But the Giants now.
Let's move over to Blackburn. Do you like what you've seen from him so far? 14 Ks, 1 walk in 15 innings, 0.80 whip.
I mean, honestly, not really. I'm not a Paul Blackburn guy. He's that seems just like a creative player pitcher. I don't have anything on this game. I wanted to see how the Sam Long, Jakob Junis dynamic goes out, and then Blackburn. I'll pull up his game logs right now. His last start was versus Baltimore. Credit, I guess, and then at Toronto, good, but I don't know. I don't want to bet on him right now. He's been pitching well so far, but nothing that I want to buy into to start off the year with. And apparently, Giants are hot. We all thought they'd be an under team. Apparently, they still can't hit lefties, obviously, but that's not Paul Blackburn.
Let's just hold on this for one more second. I know this is the last thing, and then we're going to put a bow on the show, but I would like to see what Junis did in that last game here. God, I don't trust him at all. I mean, it's better that he had a good start, feels good about himself. Wow, at the Nationals, he went 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, no walks, 4 Ks. Okay. And the wind's blowing out, and I know
we know that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. MDR 24 says backwoods Blackburn. Okay.
And it's his velocity is not up either. I'm looking at Baseball Savant. It's not anything like a drastic velocity thing like Alex Cobb, and his spin rates are all seemingly about the same. So maybe it's just a one-time thing, but like I said, I trust the Giants. They know what to do with the fastball slider stuff. So ultimately a pass for me. But you do look like an Ace fan right now, so that is another X factor.
Yeah. Okay. I've probably got enough action here.
Have you asked the Pigeons?
No, but I don't hear them outside. Actually, they're giving me a little reprieve from their fuckfest.
Well, I'll tell you, just a reminder of Giants bullpen. If they're doing a bullpen day, which they seemingly are, they've got the best bullpen in baseball right now, a 1.7 ERA. So just a reminder. I mean, honestly, we talk about it. We see Paul Blackburn seeming like a good player or a good pitcher. It seems like it's a under, just under. Maybe it seems like another under spot. And Nut Flush, I am very reactionary. I am a very reactionary. Right now, the Red Sox are out of the playoffs. They're in like last place. They're done to me. They're dead to me right now until they start showing me some offense. I've been getting my fucking taint ripped out and just right in the fucking rear from your Blue Jays these last 2 days. And it's really, really angered me. I'd like to tell you that. And you are technically an avatar for the Blue Jays, and my niceness will diminish throughout the year depending on how this Blue Jays Red Sox race goes.
Well, we're a better baseball team than you. We're playing baseball, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think you're probably in trouble here this year. But I am going to back the Red Sox first 5 today. Does that make you feel any better?
Well, it's a must-win game for them. I'll tell you that. It's they've got to win this game, or else everyone in Boston will freak the fuck out. I don't know what they're gonna do. And Alex Cora hasn't been with the team because he's had COVID, has had it. I don't know what that status is, and I don't know what if he's going to manage the game today. If I knew he was for sure managing today, I would probably take the tank play of the day, the over 3.5. That's the team total number that I like taking. But I don't know if he is. Every report is like he's coming soon. And I don't know how you get into Canada after recently. Oh, well, actually, you don't have to have a test anymore in Canada to get in. So, It's all those things. I think he'll probably come back to the start of the next series. But, honestly, I would take the team total over 3.5 there. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's juiced a little too much right now at Bet365. But I'm going to take another look at all of these games that we've broken down and see what additions I will bet. Jose, spectacular work producing as always. Stay with me as I put a bow on this show. Thank you, all you guys, for supporting the show. We have a huge day here. Sharpie's Prize Picks is less than an hour away at 3:10. Then we have the NBA Pub Hub at 4 p.m., followed by Jose's Say Hey Plays of the day at 5:30 p.m., and his special guest is Donnie Rightside. So a lot of fun here at Pub Sports Radio, so stick with us, and thank you guys, all of you guys. Dommy Gun, Spud, Nutflush, SM, MDR 24, Spenny Penny Bombs. What a great group. Nate Cerna, Mike M, Cashman, Rance, Lamont Williams, LJ from H-Town, TJ, Nasty Nate, Lamont Williams, Dennis Garcia, T-Mac, Jared TG, AYOD. All of you guys, thank you so much for your support. Mark Schillingberg, Chief already cashed that first 5 over 3.5. Say what, man?
Love that. I'm going to lose a full game under 7 in that game. That was a dumb bet. But I'll tell you my final thoughts of this day, and something you don't care about entirely.
Sure.
UTSA baseball. We took down little brother, number 8 Texas State. We beat their ass last night. I was not at the game because, as you know, Jimmy, I have a show every day.
Every day.
Every day. For the next every day for the rest of every day. So I was not at the game. However, beat their ass. Texas State Stucks, and they're our little brother, even though they're number 8 in the baseball, beat their ass.
And that's baseball, not softball. You're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Hardball.
Yes.
Hardball.
We don't disrespect softball in these parts, Jim. Jenny Finch will beat our ass.
Well,
and maybe we'd like that.
Well, look out for your taint tonight. I hope the Blue Jays don't do it. Don't hurt you again. But have a great show with Donnie Rightside. And thank you guys all so much for supporting us here at Betting with the Bag. I'm Matt Wallace. Get the fucking money. Leche. Hey, Los bookmakers. Get the shit.